I don't think you guys understand. I had a whole speech planned out. I had a whole speech planned out. I think everything changed. Everything changed. It's not silent laughter. It's not silent laughter, Rodias. You know what, let me start the show. Then we can have a chat about this. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host. The show happens every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We also do watch-alongs. For those who are joining for the first time, all of our previous episodes are available on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can check them out in full. But yeah, let's have a conversation. There's something I want to play before we get into what's happening now. I don't think we're going to speak about the match. For those who don't know, Ntseki has been, they've come to a mutual understanding to let go of each other, to go separate ways. Atazwani will be heading back to his development role. It's unsure whether he's going to be the head of youth or if he's going to go back to the coach. So we don't know if he's going to be David Matebula's boss or if he's going to be David Matebula. Kevin Johnson is taking over in the interim as head coach of Kaizer Chiefs, and Dylan Shepherd is retaining his position as the assistant coach of Kevin Johnson. To what end, we don't know. We don't know how long they're going to be there and how long interim is. But let's start here. I wanna start with something. Obviously, we're not going to play the press conference. Shout out to Dstv fans for this. But I want to play a little something before we start. So let's just hear what Ntseki had to say.
I'm Javelin here from News 24. We saw, on service since towards the end of the game, something that has been happening quite a bit this season. How are you handling that on a personal note? And why, in terms of with everything that you've sort of experienced, what is it that would make you want to continue on this job and trying to turn things around?
Thank you. I think it's a difficult one. If one has to explain the space I find myself, because I always say when you prepare to win. But when you lose games like this, you're always worried about what will happen at the end of the game. And I don't think it's actually a good thing for football, because it has turned out to be more like every training session you have is your last training session. Every game you play is your last game, because you are more worried about the results. And I've been saying it's preparation. Yes, you're not getting results, and you own up as a coach that the results are not coming. But when things like this happens for a third time, it is not only affecting you as a coach, it also affects your players. Because when they get to hear and they get to see what happens to their coach when they lose matches, it also become a reflection on them to say, what if tomorrow I'm the next one when I did not have a good game? But I think in terms of South African football supporters, I think the bigger challenge is that we are not very supportive and not very patient when results are not coming. I think Coach said something very interesting now. Yes, when they started the season, it was a building phase. They were not getting the results they wanted. But I think the support that he got from the supporters, from the management, and from the players, he's now talking bravely and very happy to say, because of hard work, we are now getting results. I think it is very unfortunate for incidents like this to happen in football. But who am I to bring a stop to incidents like this? But at the end of the day, it worries you more because you are a family person, you are a South African, and you see your people not having patience in the hard work that you put into. But at the end of the day, it's football. You win some, you lose some, And the day you get hired, the door is open for you to exit. And that's football for us. If you don't get results, you should be ready to get fired. But the manner in which it is happening, it is actually not the Kaizer Chiefs way. And I think maybe going forward, we need to look into ourselves and be supportive of this beautiful brand. And in supporting this beautiful brand, it means you love everybody who is involved with this brand. So a love and peace slogan, it's what has carried Kaizer Chiefs for so many years. And I think that will continue. Will continue to be a love and peace brand that we have had for the past 53 years. So I think these are incidents that doesn't leave a very good taste when it comes to the club as a whole, the brand as a whole. But I hope the supporters will learn to understand that results are not determined by individuals before the game started. Results are determined by the goals you score and the goals you concede. And it's just unfortunate today that we gave away that goal in the critical phase. And when you look at it, we could have stopped, we could have defended that goal to go in. But the importance of the game being a cup game, and for us wanting to go all the way and win this cup, I would say it's a big disappointment from their side. And it's also a big disappointment from the club as a whole. From me as a coach, I'm very disappointed, but what else can I do? The result as of now, it's Kaizer Chiefs lost against Amazulu, and we're not going to the next round.
We wish to stay here the whole night. Unfortunately, we'll take yours as the last one. Thank you. Saying it?
I think the second part of the question,
Repeat it again quickly.
with this incident,
Just one last part.
what is it that's making you want to continue on this job?
I don't think it's a question that has to be answered now, because I'm employed by the club. We have technical conversations. We look into incidents like this, and we have meetings to discuss what are possibilities going forward. But for you to ask a question to say, how do I see my future at Kaizer Chiefs, I don't think this is the platform for us to entertain that question.
Thank you.
It was at that moment, that you knew, that you knew that it was done. I don't think it was a secret. I don't think it was anything that we didn't see coming, especially when he started speaking like this in the media. I think Ntseki was tend to becoming, in that moment, was tend to being the coach that we needed at Kaizer Chiefs. But ever since before that, he was playing to the tune of management. Now, I'm going to start off over here. Let's be honest. Ntseki was doomed from the beginning. He was not the man for the job. Ntseki had not coached in the PSL. Ntseki has not had a tough time at Bafana Bafana before disappearing for a little bit and coming back being a technical director at Kaizer Chiefs, not knowing what that means. What does the technical director mean? But he was hired and eventually became the head coach. He was not the man. He was not. In the same way that Uatazwane was not the man for a Kaizer Chiefs. Not a Kaizer Chiefs that is 8-9 years into not winning a trophy. Not a Kaizer Chiefs that has watched Abo Mamelodi Sundowns win a star, Abo Pirates win a trophy. The truth of the matter was that he was never going to get time. Whatever project that Kaizer Chiefs was doing was not going to work out. The job that was ahead of him was a very big one. The one thing that I felt again when I was watching that thing, I felt sorry for him. But then when I listened to that press conference again now and before I started the show, I started thinking to myself, this is not a man who's taking accountability for the role that he played. Yes, it's the players, it's the fans, it's this, it's that. And I feel like Ntseki had become similar to what our management is. The truth of the matter is that the problem with Kaizer Chiefs is bigger than Ntseki. The problem with Kaizer Chiefs is bigger than Atazwane. It's bigger than Iskorase to that takes fitness. It's bigger than all of this stuff. And what he did at the end is what our management does every time. You know, I felt for Ntseki when he took the job, because at Kaizer Chiefs, you become a scapegoat. At Kaizer Chiefs, it becomes about the coach. And we get angry at this one, and the next one, and the one after that. We get angry at the players, and this one, and that one, and the one after that. That's where we focus as fans. But the truth is, at the back, something's wrong. The truth is, Ntseki should never have been hired for this job. And you can come to us and tell us in every press conference that no, guys, patience and all that stuff. He was never going to work out. So me personally, in as much as I feel about Ntseki, as much as bad as I feel about his tactics and how he plays on the field, I also understand that in the back, khona bantu that are going to push the coach forward. The rumor has it that he was basically told by the family, allegedly, that they weren't going to support him during this time. And that is part of the reason why he decided to leave. So now we have to look at the back and say, Ntseki is another one of a long line of coaches. Steve got fired, Gavin got fired, Middendorp got fired, Zwane got demoted, I've already mentioned Gavin Stewart, Baxter came back. It's 8 seasons. And while Ntseki is at fault for taking the job, when you take the job of Kaizer Chiefs, you need to know what you're stepping into. You know, he tried to liken himself to Pablo Martin at Amazulu. All due respect to Amazulu, it's not Kaizer Chiefs. All due respect. And I also didn't like the fact that both he and management tried to make it about fans. Fans don't choose coaches. Fans don't interview coaches. None of us are in the boardroom. None of us are in the boardroom when these things are discussed and decided. I didn't give Atazwane a contract. I don't know, Man B, Junior, all these people. We didn't give this guy a contract. We didn't make these decisions. So for them to turn it back on us is crazy. Just think about that. They keep saying that fans are this and fans are that, and we are the reason. If they well and truly believed in this guy, in Ntseki, they'd stand behind him again. If they really believed in Gavin, if they really believed in Steve Compella, if they really believed in all those people, they would have stood behind them because it was their choice to move in that way. But now they're trying to make it about us. Fans. They're telling us to be patient. Always patience. There's a project, there's a this. Let me ask you a question. When Chiefs, when Nike left Chiefs and they moved on to Kappa, before we signed the Kappa deal, at what point did you see Jessica come out and say, oh, please be patient? When they launched Chiefs, at what point did they come out and say, guys, be patient, what? When fans are out here buying kits, not being patient, buying Abu Tupperware. Look, Kaizer Chiefs colored Tupperwares. Nobody's saying be patient. But now when we get angry that 8 years, yonke, 8 years, we sat. 8 years, guys, you know, I make a joke all the time when I'm here. But the truth is, guys, we've watched teams get better and pass us. Sundowns is winning leagues every year. Sundowns has a star before us. Our Pirates by win. And we had this conversation about being local. We spoke about the local coaches and all of that stuff. You can't ask me for patience. Nangu Rivero. Plumber. That's what everybody called him. He landed, and it was plumber this, plumber that. He won 2 trophies. First season out. But I digress. I want to focus on management. You know what the problem is with Kaizer Chiefs management? They're so used to giving us words. Project, building, time, patience. When they should be the ones that are making the proper decisions. It's not Ntseki's fault that it didn't work out. It's not Zwane's fault that it didn't work out. It's not anybody else's fault that it didn't work out. It's management. And while they shuffle people, today it's Kevin Johnson, tomorrow is going to be somebody else, the next day is going to be somebody else. How many coaches and players have we seen? But you know who stayed the same? It's still Bobby at the back, it's still Jessica at the back, it's still Kaizer Jr. at the back. Now they've brought in Kaizer Jr. So surely something's going on. You know, we spoke the other day, I was speaking with people even before the show, and they said this is what Chiefs did wrong. The issue is that all of these people, they see Sundowns, so we're going to try copy that thing. But we're going to copy the easy part at the end, and we're not going to do the whole thing. Who's doing the scouting? Right now at Kaizer Chiefs, I'm going to ask you guys right now, who's the technical director at Kaizer Chiefs? Who's the director of football? Kevin Johnson is getting moved from head of youth development. Who's going in there? Who was there before that? How many people have to go through before we realize who these guys are? 8 years young, but they keep saying patience. Patience. We've been the most patient. Guys, we've been down for so long that Sundowns is playing made-up CAF tournaments. Best of the best. Yet still, imali yaspendiwa every season. Guys, yaspendiwa. Atazwane was given a 3-year contract. I don't know how long Ntseki had a contract for. We keep signing players, we keep moving. It's no one. And it's something I've said before. Yeah. I can see it, you can see it, everybody can see it. But no one, go Chiefs, no one ever sees anything wrong. Not to Ntseki, not to Zwane, not to Dylan Shepherd, not the analysts, not Kaizer Jr., not Bobby Mtau, not Jessica, not Ntate Mtau, not Abo Sharehold, Abo Ntate Nkuna. Nobody sees anything wrong. Do you know where you see? I want to go back. Do you know where you see that there's an issue? And what hurts about the Kaizer Chiefs? I would understand, Wabona, if the whole club was bad. What if the whole club was down bad? Every single person there was just bad. When my deal, my chips, my what, everything was going wrong. I get it. But the sad thing about our club is that you see the parts that are working hard. You see the commercial side. If there was a log, ne? If there was a log of marketing, Chiefs would be number 1. If there was a log of press conferences, if there was a log of people going on to ENCA to launch kits and doing all that stuff, we'd be number 1. But the thing that brought us here, the thing that we love and we want to see, is gone. And I don't think anything's going to change, guys, to be honest with you. Nothing's going to change. Remember 2 years ago, abantu bahambile bathatha memorandum to go and tell them, we want memberships back, we want this, we want that, we want that. Nothing. And they smiled and they came out and they spoke to people and they took selfies and they hugged and they were left alone. The issue is, and I'm in no way condoning what's going to happen here. The issue is, us as fans choose to punish players, choose to punish coaches, choose to punish those people. Meanwhile, Khona abantu that have been there the whole time, and nobody questions them. And Iksasa, when they drop a kit, we're going to buy the kit. Sasa, when they drop on my chips, I will take you all my chips. And I'm sorry, I don't want to blame Ntseki. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't want to blame Ntseki. Even me, if Chiefs was to come today and say, here's a contract to sign for Kaizer Chiefs, to coach Kaizer Chiefs, I'd take it. But I'd take it with my eyes open. But anyway, guys, it's sad, man. It's sad. You watch them, you know, I said to the Sundowns fans that I'm jealous of his Sundowns. I'm jealous because I know what it feels like to be at a club that works. Guys, how many times when Kaizer Chiefs was winning everything, how many times did you see Kaizer Chiefs come out and have a press conference about patience? How many times did you hear Ubab Kaizer speaking? You didn't have to because it's working. Look at Sundowns. There is no Sundowns fan that is sitting here that can say that they don't have the trust that their team is doing the best for them. But you know, when you look at what's happening over there, you're like, guys, what's going on? What's going on? Fire on my coach every day. They're struggling. Sponsors are leaving. They have to come out and do press conferences. Remember before the derby, imagine before a derby, Kaizer Jr. had to come out and say to us, guys, please be patient, guys. We've got a young coach. Last year, we've got a young coach who we're building, guys. That never used to happen. It never used to happen at Kaizer Chiefs. So I remember a time when Kaizer Chiefs was run properly. But now, Balanda bo Gonzalez, I was going to Gonzalez ufuna ni Kaizer Chiefs. The list goes on and on. Buying 3, buy 2, get 1 free, doing all of those things. And you wonder, or does anybody care about the state of the club? Because it doesn't feel like there's any urgency on that side. Here's Kevin Johnson. Guys, I'm sorry. Here's Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is going to step into the role. Very experienced coach, worked with Pizzo, all of that stuff, right? But what has fundamentally changed at Kaizer Chiefs with this appointment? What has fundamentally changed? And I ask you the same thing that I asked you when Ntseki took the job. He was the technical director at Kaizer Chiefs for 2 years. Then he became the coach, but yet still there was problems. Now we're taking Kevin Johnson and we're putting him there with Dylan Shepherd still there. So if Dylan Shepherd couldn't do anything for these years, he's still there. What else one is going to go to development? So what's going to happen to the development? What new thing is going to happen at Chiefs development when Atazwani is going back there? What new ideas? So what has fundamentally changed? And it goes back to that thing I told you guys a long time ago. You can want to be Sundowns, you can want to be this team and that team and the other team. But if you don't change how everything else runs, I'm going to reference Sundowns again. Who is the head coach? I mean, who is the chairperson of Sundowns? Utlopi. How many decisions do you think Utlopi takes for Sundowns in terms of the football, in terms of everything? They've lined him up with the best technical directors, the best head of developments. They've brought in Abo Rulani Bakona. They've been there for a while. There's structure. There's 25 people on the technical team. They've done their work. Now tell me, again, I'll ask one more time. Who's the technical director of Kaizer Chiefs right now? Who's going to make sure that what Kevin Johnson is doing, what Arthur's doing, what everybody's doing is in line? Who? Is it going to be Kaizer Junior Foot? I feel for Molefi Ntseki, but I also feel as though he should have known that when you step into this job, there's plenty of times here on this show where I told you that at Kaizer Chiefs and at a lot of big clubs, the least of your problems are the tactics on the pitch. How do you deal with fans? How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? I've told you guys that Chiefs needs a manager first. I would love them to go overseas, to be honest with you. Go get your... Back in the day, we were happy as Chiefs when we went to go fetch those random Serbian guys from the middle of nowhere who we didn't know. He comes here, he does a job. I got complaining, ngama player, ngama fans and what. He does his job. If I ends the job, he goes home, back to Europe. But we persisted with these things. My sister is some chips. Rekisari chips. Get chips right now. Out of M108, out of Culling knockout, we saw Africa that 1 year. Ever since then, Tololo. There's no plans. Yes, somebody just reminded me. Sorry. There's no plans. Think about it. Ushabalala, for example. Now Ushabalala. We brought him into the club. He played last season. Now he's back, Coco MTC. What plan was there? We were promised, hey, we're going to play like this, when this kind. What happened there? Now I'm tired, guys. Now I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. And I think it's unfair for them to carry on asking for us to be patient. I'm sorry. I'd much rather they just keep quiet and we don't hear from Abo Pobi, we don't hear from Abo Kaizer Jr., we don't hear from Abo Jessica. They should just disappear into the back and just do the work. We're tired of press conferences. We're tired of stories, PR stunts. We're tired of all these things, man. We're tired. Just do the work. I don't want to hear a word from them anymore. Anyway, guys, I'm going to open up and let's let the therapy session begin. If you want to join, just know that at the bottom of your screen now, there's going to be a button that says multi-guest. Click on the button, send in a request, and I'll let people in, and we can have discussions about the different things. I see that it's a long list, so what I'm going to do is everybody will do it like we do matches. Come in, you've got your few minutes to get it off your chest, and then we'll go from there. Zela.
Hey,
Can you hear me, my brother? Can you hear me?
Hey, angizwa kahle. Angizwa mfethu.
No, Pete, am I coming through? Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Uyangizwa?
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa. Tell me, my brother, uthini ngale ndaba?
Yeah, yazwakala. You know, the writing was on Molefi Ntseki from the start, from the get-go, from when he was appointed. We already knew vele ukuthi angeke last. He was gonna get fired. Vele. He was not gonna last. It's just nje ukuthi Kaizer Chiefs is treating their team, Kaizer Chiefs as a brand, as if a political party. All empty promises, amanga, all of that. So yes, Molefi Ntseki naye be Kaizer Chiefs like coach. Yeah, ngisasekhona. OT.
Going on, can you guys hear me?
OT.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Siyakuzwa,
can hear
mfethu.
you.
Oh, okay, I'm seeing people complaining there
siyakuzwa.
in the back. Okay, no, go on then.
Yeah. So vele ubezohamba uMolefi Ntseki. Yabona nje, it was the worst decision appointing uMolefi Ntseki as head coach from the get-go. Like igame yamaZulu, there was not even a single player from MTC. I'm talking about Abumdu, Abu Zwane, or Abu Tuba, and even Abongobe. They were not there as a substitution. So yes, Molefi Ntseki, it is a good decision for Uti Chiefs to let him go, cause he was failing as a coach. And he was failing us as ama supporters kakhulu. So kwesinye isikhathi we can blame Molefi Ntseki, but Kaizer Chiefs is turning into Chippa United now. The difference between Kaizer Chiefs and Chippa United,
Hey guys, I don't know what's going on.
the location. Because of the structure now, it's all about I want a structure and just straight.
Do you think that this will change anything?
Kuyahlupha la.
Yeah.
Hey, network kuyahlupha la, yazi.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
So I'm gonna disconnect you, then try jump in. Napoleon Nkutla Abut Napoleon, can you hear me?
OT,
I can't hear you, man. I don't know if you can hear us, but I can't hear
I can't hear you also.
Ow, 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 ow. Are they that angry at me, guys?
you. Nah, we can't hear you, man.
Can you
We
guys
can't
hear me?
you.
Now? Oh, never mind. No, I know why. Never mind. I got to Udlela out because he was just cutting there. Abut Napoleon, can you hear me?
Abuto guy.
Yeah, now.
Ake right, Abuti man. Ake right.
Eish.
Ke bona kare, it's the same move they do every time.
You know, I'm very skeptical country on the Kaizer Chiefs. Like the way Kaizer Chiefs has failed Soweto and the whole of the fans of Kaizer Chiefs. Like I don't understand. Or Bra Kaizer hana appoint abanaba high bow. Did they know that they were playing for Kaizer Chiefs and died for Kaizer Chiefs? Yeah. Because understand from the root, we cannot rework until Kikiano. You can imagine Chiefs for 8 years going to 9 years or 10 years without a cup. It's like Pirates. It went for 10 years without a cup. How was embarrassing was that? No, we don't even know what's happening in management. Kaizer Chiefs. It's very disappointing. I don't want to lie. It's very disappointing. I was in pain when Kaizer Chiefs putting out Kokapo because people are flying from Devon to come and watch soccer. They pay. They
about patience. About patience. I'll spend the chelete how unzo reka di kit unzo tsamaya di stadium. About patience. About patience. Not
Yes.
Akuna patience mo.
I would. There was an actuality during Kaizer Chiefs defense. There's this fan. That guy was supposed to go to Mozambique. Le family tsama ilusitse natla a fly from Durban natla moto shebelaki. Then that was the result. Kaizer Chiefs has failed as batho ba ratang polo. A ke tsebe o etsahalanda. Jessica, I don't know like ke eng wa sa batho ba bang chance. Kaizer Junior must go there. A ke tsebe me ba lo tira le ntwana tse nyane. You must remove kaofela bo Zwane bo Dylan Shepherd. Like move everything there. Qala mfatshe. Because if you don't bring up Kevin Johnson ato kopana le bo Zwane le bo Dylan Shepherd, he won't breathe. He won't breathe. Oxygen ya high atlan leon. O tle ba breathe oxygen ya bo ata Zwane le bo Dadi. It's really like like Abuta, I'm not okay. I'm not okay for teammates for the Kaizer Chiefs. Liverpool Pirates, they don't compete go Africa, go big stages. Today, I was listening to like the way Masanda wana buanga thing. For Chiefs the Pirates, they need we need to represent Elerona. We don't represent Juang. Come the coaches they don't play other players. Since it's terrible adults, one mistake, then there's no way, Bafetu. There's no way. Jessica, she knew what she was doing back then. This past years, I don't know what's happening. I don't want to lie. I don't know. About Weloba big headed, about Tuso, then Chiefs Ikopane, really meeting with say because now we cannot always. No, in a few weeks' time, it's gonna be a derby. We'll be going there again. We'll be going there. I can't never fit.
Abuti re ke bulele ba ba ke re ke bulele
All
ba
right,
ba ke a bona hore ka jeno o ke taba e telle. Hey guys, they need to change everything, man. Change the whole thing. They love doing this front thing. Now, Kevin Johnson, a lot of you are saying is caretaker. So now he's going to be caretaker. If he goes back to technical director, what has changed? Rivo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good and you OT. I'm sorry, man. I can see that you are touched, and I'm also touched because I went to the match on Saturday hoping for better results. Truth of the matter is it's no longer fun, man. I mean, there's no longer competition in the league, the PSL. Look at the Carling knockout now. The only big team that's left there is Orlando Pirates. Look at the other teams. It's not fun anymore. Like it's not even funny. We can laugh about it, but it's not even funny anymore. And I think I knew one of the things that happened at the stadium after the match was the fans were furious and the cameras. It's so unfortunate that the cameras did not take like videos and stuff like that was happening, but I think the decision was made the right day and there because the fans were so angry and they wanted to kind of attack Bobby. They were actually so close to going into the VIP section and attack him, and I saw him take out his phone and he made a call. From that call, and I knew already that Ntseki was gone. It was so sad. The whole I mean, old people were crying there, OT. Fathers of families were crying. I don't think management of Kaizer Chiefs understand how much people love Kaizer Chiefs. There were so much fans. The fans came out. There were buses there, Joe, from Free State, from Northwest. It was packed, and it was so sad to see all those people crying there. It was just the management. Bobby is interfering a lot. I think his interference has cost the team. And the shareholders, I think Kaizer Chiefs has a lot of shareholders of people who don't know anything about football or who have no interest in football, but they just want to generate income. They just want to make more money. They just want to pump money, and they don't care about fans or anything. You know, my heart sank when Saddam and Bomukwebo tried to complain. I remember that's when the statement of family business came out. Bobby responded to them and said it's a family business. I mean, Saddam used to attend all the matches in South Africa that you can mention. He would be there without fail, and for him to get that answer and say it's a family business, I mean, guys, no, this is just not on. Kaizer Chiefs management need to take the fans serious, and they need to take this business serious. I mean, there's people like Dr. Kumalo Joe who knows football, who love the club, who can serve with pride and love. Who can help there and there. You guys have like your Simpiwe Chabalala, guys. He used to be one of the best in the team. He can add there and there, but nah. This guy Junior, he went overseas. He came back. What is he bringing into the club? The only person that I can see an effort, I think it's Jessica, because she's still trying to push the marketing side and get fans and whatever, but it's not enough. She's the only person trying. What about the rest of the people? It's not fun. It's not fun, OT. It's really not fun.
Hey, Rivo, I don't wanna say too much today. I've already said my piece. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna just cycle through everyone because there's a lot of requests. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much, OT.
We'll speak properly on another day.
Yeah.
You know how we normally have it.
Yeah, how we normally do. No problem. Thank you so much. Ube right, Joe.
Ay, man, rakhatetse, Rivo. Rakhatetse.
Sorry, man.
Let me bring in the Butlari. Butlari, welcome to the show. How are you?
Man, I think after yesterday's frustration, after I took out all the frustration on you yesterday, I think I accepted, and I knew what's coming. I knew that Ntseki is not gonna stay, but yeah, man. I think immediately after the appointment of Ntseki, we were all like, me, you, Agent, and Abudukujo. I did say, you also agreed with me that they're just putting much pressure on themselves by hiring Ntseki.
Yes.
There was nothing.
Yes.
We did say maybe if they left others one, fans were gonna be slightly patient with him because they were hoping for something. But hiring Ntseki without the CV, without anything, And the only frustrating thing about this is after appointment, we fans, we know that already this is a bad move. You are putting the coach under pressure. You are putting players under pressure necessary because the fans are aged. They know already there's nothing that's going to happen. So, look, Zwana, I think for me, they should have let Zwana stay until they find a coach because let's be honest, Zwana was trying with the young players at some point. You see that Zwana is creating a lot of chances. A lot of chances were created. The young players were expressing themselves the way they want. And it becomes difficult when you see that instead of upgrading when they hire a coach, they downgrade. And immediately we say, guys, the coach is not going to last 10 games. I think we did say that the coach is not going to last 10 games. And definitely it happens. So, what Chiefs thinking, why is the management not saying this? I don't have any coaches' pages, I just love the game. We see these things, we see what's happening. Right now, immediately they went for Kevin Johnson. We knew that Kevin Johnson will come back and take
From
over.
the day he was hired.
Definitely. And the frustrating part about this, now they're trying to do damage control. Why did we go for Kevin Johnson in the first place? He has a much better CV. We have seen him doing good with players that were just we used to call them average players. He knows how to use them. He knows how to use average players. At least there was a CV there, you know. But now you bring Zeke and then you wanna do damage control. It's too late for damage control. Fans are already aging now. It's gonna now Kevin Johnson has to come in, try to fix the entire thing. It's gonna be tough. And you bring Kevin Johnson, which he wants players to express themselves. He had no clue what's happening in the game. Look, for me, I got very frustrated that day when it's 90, adding 5 minutes. A coach says everyone go. Rulani last time, Rulani just said everyone move forward. Even if we lose 3-0, we need a goal within the last 5 minutes. But Chiefs was playing as if it's a draw. What is that telling you? And also the press conference. After the press conference, the guy was defeated, man. I think he knew his way. And I think even the previous game, he knew that it's done. I think for him, like, I don't know why he decided to take the opportunity to become the coach. I don't know what he was thinking, but he knew where Chiefs was in the space. And you don't have a CV, fans are aging. Immediately the appointment, the Chiefs could have read the room. I fail to understand why Chiefs do not read the room. You hire someone, you clearly see fans are already aging. They don't want the coach. And the coach comes in, he does like, oh God, guys, I think we need to go back to the drawing board. I don't know what we can do. Do we need to reshuffle the entire thing? What do we need? Do we need Kevin Johnson to bring in on his own team? I don't know, because Kevin Johnson's a caretaker, or they're looking into another coach to work with Kevin Johnson. We don't know. But for me, the appointment of Kevin Johnson as a head of scout, I knew that was not a head of scout. It was
a made-up position. Yeah.
It was a made-up position. No, for him to be introduced in Naturela, just for the players to get used to him. And I think one thing which Kaizer Chiefs doesn't know these things, and I think South African clubs needs to learn from this, is immediately you bring in a coach and say it's a head of scout. If fans can see that this guy is going to be the next coach of Kaizer Chiefs, already the players feel that. Already the players know.
Don't lie to us.
Yeah, if the players know, you bring it. The players knew with guys, Ntseki's time is done, and they will just play for Nteki because they have to play, but it was not worth it. So for me, Chiefs failed us. I'm frustrated. I'm better now. I think I told you before that I took time from football because Chiefs are used to taking us anywhere. But I think the appointment of Kevin Johnson as a caretaker, it will bring in the differences in terms of the style of football that we'll be playing. We will win games, but now we'll start seeing Abum Dushabalala coming in. We won't gonna see Dushabalala playing as a winger. For heaven's sake, we're not gonna see Dolly playing as a winger. What do you expect to see, guys?
I'm just gonna jump in for time there. Butlari. It's a very long list, but yeah, no, I hear you. And part of the problem that I saw as well, just gonna let you know. But one of the problems that I saw was even in the transition to show you that this team has been nowhere. Atazwane's coach, he comes to the end of the season. You openly negotiate with somebody else. Out loud, you negotiate openly with somebody else, right? That falls through, and now what must Atta do? So Atta's been taking the team going into preseason. What must he do? Then you demote him and you put in Ntseki, who apparently declined the job the first time out. So does that tell you that this move was calculated, or was it just something they did? You know what I wish for this time with Kaizer Chiefs? I wish they could just sit 6 months yonke. Singers being a coach, they must go do their job. They must go. The next time we hear from them must be them announcing, okay, we've hired 7 people who are going to be all over the management side and in the front. It doesn't be this one thing, this one thing. Just think of how bad. Remember, agent, you're actually right. I asked, this can't be, man, Chiefs preseason. And I remember somebody saying to me, no, but coach. And I was like, yeah, but preseasons are planned 6 months before. So you're telling me that right now they planned everything. That's not a good sign. And that just shows you that all of them were up and down. But anyway, Nko, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Ah, my guy. Yeah. This thing just brought back everything. Tell me, what do you think of this situation?
You know what? My heart sinks every time we have to deal with this nonsense that we are subjected to as Kaizer Chiefs fans. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm hurt. I'm angry. There's just everything in my head going on right now because we are taken for a fool. And it's been going on for 8 years. You know, when Urivo said Bobby took out his phone and spoke to someone, I was hoping she was going to say he took out his phone to resign from Kaizer Chiefs, from his position occupying as Bobby Mtaung, because he's doing nothing. He's got nothing to show for it. What can Bobby say he's done for Kaizer Chiefs? Let's be honest, as Kaizer Chiefs fans, nothing. And you know, I was listening to you when you started your analysis. My guy, I just wish that there were thousands of Kaizer Chiefs fans listening to this, because most of them keep blaming the coach each and every season. And it's been proven that it's not the coaches that are at fault here. It has never been them for the past 8 years. You put it correctly. There's something at the back there that is not going all right. There's something that is not going according to plan. But I can tell you one thing. There is a project at Chiefs, but that project is a family project. It has got nothing to do with satisfying the fans. It has got nothing to do with us. We are the least of their problems. I can tell you that for sure. Because I think you have realized that they don't care about their fans. It doesn't matter. What are they doing? Have you seen any changes that Chiefs have made that proves to you that they are trying to do something for us? There's nothing. Instead, they are introducing the chips. They are busy with marketing of the club. That is why I'm saying to you, there is a project that is going on, but it's got nothing to do with satisfying the fans or making us win anything. It's been 8 years. Don't they feel any shame about Bobby, Nabo Jessica? 8 years. I mean, like, we have to deal with the fans at Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns every day, almost every day at work. Everywhere we go, we speak to our friends who are supporting Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, and you can't even say anything anymore as a Kaizer Chiefs fan. You'll be sitting there drinking beers. You've got nothing.
So bad. I'm not anymore. It's just sad.
They don't.
Like, guys, we're sorry. It's that thing.
They look at you in shame, and like they sort of feel for you. I've got a friend who looks at me and be like, my guy, nah man, no, hubima. You get what I'm trying to say? And we used to tease each other. We don't have that anymore. Because he understands that I've got nothing to offer. When was the last time I won a trophy? When was the last time Kaizer Chiefs actually won something? And you know, when you laid out the foundation in the beginning, I was like, this is it. This is it. I wish each and every Kaizer Chiefs fan can listen to this. Stop blaming the coach.
No coach is going to come at Kaizer Chiefs and do anything and achieve anything. I can tell you that for a fact right now. I don't believe that. I don't believe the whole structure is dead. Like you were laying out and indicating that they've got this technical director that we don't even know what they do. You've got your development coach or manager that we don't even see what happens down there. The whole structure, from the person that is called Bobim Tao, who told us at some point that this is a family team. I think that was the day Kaizer Chiefs died, when he said to us, "This is a family business. Stay out of it." And Nagi Kwatil, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna watch Tottenham Hotspur right now. But yeah, Kubi.
I know. Thank you, Mko. Yeah, but that's the issue. I think, guys, are we really believing that a team as big as Kaizer Chiefs is being run by 5 people? That's my issue. And if that is true, that is scary. Sundowns is a family team. Tate Motsepe was all over the African Football League announcement talking about, this is my family's team, when my family's team won in 2015. But the difference is, at what point do you want your family team to do well? I don't have a problem with Ukeza Jr. stepping in as sporting director. Issue is, can you be a first-time sporting director at Kaizer Chiefs? Shouldn't they hire someone to be with him that he learns from in shadows, so that when he steps in, he's learned from someone? All of them are just doing whatever they want to do. Like, it's just up and down. That's why I'm like, if you take a proper look, guys, I urge you, please, can we take a proper look at the Kaizer Chiefs? Let's ask the questions. Who are the people that are in the back? Who are the people that are meant to do other things? Because if well and truly this team is being run by the kids only, or by the siblings only, that is a problem. I asked you guys about Molefi Ntseki. Molefi Ntseki has Fleming under him, has Abo Rulani, has the new academy head that they hired from overseas. He's got so many people that make decisions. Now, Tina, I can't even name you what that organic Kaizer Chiefs look like. Anyway, Jero, welcome, my brother.
My brother, how are you?
Hey, my guy, I'm tired, man.
Listen, you guys, you know what? This is so obvious. This is so obvious what is happening to me. And we've got a perfect example of what is happening at Chiefs when you look at our government. Remember when they were trying to, they were sabotaging our SOEs, our ESCOM, Transnet, a post office. They were running it down on purpose. Now SAA, so they could be able to sell it. And most of them would get shares and they'll get a lot of money, our government. So if you compare it to Chiefs, this thing has been done on purpose. There is no way in hell that the Chiefs management cannot try and fix Chiefs, or they don't see what's happening. We can see it. We are outside the club. We can see which this club has been run badly. You can see which this club is going through. We can see from the outside. So Warner, as part of management, they have a plan that they won't be able to tell us. But you can see maybe this football business is not profitable. So they are trying to run it down, and then someone else will buy it, and then they'll get the money. That's the only reason.
Maybe they'll buy it. Maybe they're trying to do it so they can make it cheaper to buy back Asazi, allegedly.
But how? I think for me, that's the only reason in my head. Because Chiefs is too big. Chiefs has got a lot of history for them to let it down like this, especially when the father is still there. Why is not the father fighting with his kids? There's, they say life will make you blind. Life will make you blind. Where you can see your partner is cheating, but you're not letting him go. It's the same with the fans. They can see this is not on. Chiefs is not into football anymore. they're just buying coaches and players so they can maintain their status of a PSL. Same thing with our government. If you look, Jacob Zuma, Cyril Ramaphosa, but the SOEs are going down. They let it look at Transnet and SAA. Same thing with Chiefs. They're changing coaches, but it will stay the same. So, see, now we must stop crying. I'm a Sundowns fan, but I'm crying because I like football. I love football. But my only reason here with the Chiefs, maybe in 2 years or 3 years' time, they're going to sell it and make money. Because maybe this business is not profitable. See, now we don't see the numbers behind them. Maybe it's not profitable. They just want the Arabs or the Chinese to come and buy it for a lot of money, and then they'll just sit down. That's my take. I don't know. That's my take. Yeah.
Okay. No, thanks, Jero. Hey,
Yeah.
guys, we're even coming up with the theories for this thing, Mara. Ringer. Hey, what's going on, my brother?
What was it?
Man, I right.
Okay, let me try and break this down for you, Otak. The first thing is succession plan, if I'm using the word correctly, right? The chairman close to 80, right? Do you guys not think for the chairman out of all these kids, that's the first thing, right? Because if you look at it and you make the example Sundowns, if Motsepe was not going to go to Africa, Motsepe would still be there. So we don't know what prep he was doing for takeover, right? But if you look at the difference that Motsepe never took family Kaufela, he just put his son so that he can go attend to business go care, right? So that's the problem now. I think we're sitting with 3 people, right? You're sitting with the chairman and his 3 kids, and there's other family members in the background. These are not the only kids, right? And with that, guys, comes fights, comes sibling rivalries, like huge sibling rivalry. I'll make an example. A rumor that was going on, I think that's Stuart Baxter, was that was that in a room where they were discussing him, it was split, right? Where the one camp says he must go, the other camp says he must stay, right? And then when he went on, he almost win the league. Then the other camp said, then, you know what I mean? So with the coaches, that's always the case. The one camp likes whoever is being appointed. The other camp is like, let's see your appointment. So there's no synergy. There's no the entire platform of management put this person on and say this person is gonna lead our team. That's the problem, right? And then when it comes to someone mentioned, what's the plan, right? I've been looking at history at the players achieves, like even now, right? Where you taking? No offense to Umteto, right? He just comes in, right? But Umteto is what now? 28, 29.
Tantan is also
What
28,
does he
29.
do?
All those guys.
Yes, right. They have no cup pedigree. He has no medal to his name. So what is he going to do in that squad for a Zwani, for example, who now has to go a place back? So there's no play. We talk about youth, their Chiefs. We talk about structure Sabona, which is a good structure from the youth. But those players, Bokhateb, how long has Khateb been part of the first team? How long has Mashiach been part of the team? What's the plan, Kabon? What we're trying to do at this point too, and again, no offense to him, was blind us, right? Was trying to create a Jabupule for us so that we can focus on that and not focus on the factor for the appointment as Zwane, for example, was an emotional appointment, right? I don't think Zwane was ready to be there.
Yeah,
he did
not
well,
even close.
but I think it was a team from the club. They were too emotional about that appointment. And you see, when you do things like this, they put all their basket goes on. And then when they were switching him to Ntseki, as you said, it was publicly out there. There's no anything coming to us and saying, guys, here's the plan. Here's where Zwane didn't take the correct mark. CHIEFS23 is not taking the correct marks. And as you said, we are made a scapegoat situation. We are more angry at the fact that you are taking us nowhere. Like, we are going nowhere. You get what I mean? And then you start asking questions like, why is a marketing director front face, right? Why is she answering questions? She's the marketing director.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Never used to answer questions before, Jessica.
You get what I mean? Why is there's football people who should be upfront to answer those questions? But guys, whether we like it or not, Bobby is probably the one most experienced football manager in the country, or club manager in the country. He's been long than anyone who still exists in the club right now. He knows things. What did Sebadi? Ramubata, me personally, Bobby Kishap guy, but he knows things, right? Jessica has been in the marketing. Do you remember any other marketing director before Jessica got CHIEFS? You don't, because these people are experienced. They've been in the club for too long, so they know exactly what they need to do to move this club forward. The problem is success. Failure. Success at Jessica is failure, and that's where the problem is. Do you get what I mean? If one of the siblings does something that moves the club forward, that means the other sibling will lose other, because one day the chairman will have to choose one of his kids to take over that role. And these kids right now, they're trying to do each other wrong and themselves right. If I'm fighting for the chairmanship, that means I must make the other one look bad and I look good. Right? And then my final point, or the question is, or the thing is, the fact that the shareholders that are also family friends or people who are very close to the family is also a problem. Because when they sit there and drink 25-year-old coach, Babua is friends. The brand is dying. The football on the pitch is dying. The fans are angry. Instead of highly hold someone accountable, someone needs to say, Chairman, out of this management team, who's accountable for this nonsense? Who must be fired? Who has the same name as yours? Because someone who has the same name as the chairman must be fired at some point. Must be fired at some point. But because even the shareholders get him binge, that's where the problem will start. Because no one is holding anyone accountable. You get what I mean? And the shareholders, whether we like it or not, they are still making their money. The brand is big, it still makes a profit. Everyone is big. Rona defense, Rona who have been drafted, passing the training by other fans, which is very sad. But let's not get emotional, my guy. Let's give other people a chance.
No, thank you, Ringa. Thank you so much. Agent 007, I don't know if I should let you in, but it's fine.
No, I was like, I'm not gonna joke too much today, but I think maybe this conversation needs to be also discussed, during the day also, because I think people need to get this thing out, just a suggestion, that the conversation needs to continue tomorrow. But the spirit of Mpengis is like it's in Chiefs now, eh? I had a statistic while I was watching the live from Opta Jabu that in the last 5 years, you guys has had as many coaches as in the previous 16 years. I think that just shows the problem, And I think Chiefs fans are smart, I don't know why they like to act, how can I say, unintelligent, because you guys are seeing the same movie over and over again. What Chiefs is doing is they're trying to solve this huge complex situation by a simple solution. And it won't work. It won't cut it. You guys are looking for shortcuts. There's no time for shortcuts. Shortcuts you can try it in 1, 2, 3 years, but after 4, 5 years, like, no guys, let's have a process. I would refer to Sundowns a bit in my conversation in the time that you've given me. Umotsepe had the same problem of looking for shortcuts, of throwing money at the problem, looking for quick solutions for a complex issue. He would buy the best players, he would bring in the best coaches in the world, and they still didn't cut it. And for 7 years, we went out with a trophy. And he said, you know what, maybe it's time I have a process. And he sat down. It's like, I'm not going to spend money that much. I'm just going to bring Coach Pizzo. I'm bringing the right people. and you know what, I'm gonna stick to this process. And at some time, even as fans, we didn't understand what he's trying to do, you know, and we wanted to even beat to Pizzo, but he stuck to his decision. And he said, guys, this is my process, I'm gonna trust it. And it paid out. Look at Arsenal, look at Man City, look at Liverpool. There's always a process, you know, and a process takes 3-4 years for it to be completed. You look at Chiefs, like I said, they look for a simple solution. Look at the past coaches. With Steve Compella, last 2 seasons, he loses only 6 games. Past 2 seasons, meaning 2 seasons, he loses 12 games. In any other league, you probably win the league. His only problem was with draws. So the only thing which was missing was, Steve, convert those draws to wins. And how do you do that? Maybe look for a striker coach. But you guys, you know what? It's like, no, 3 years is too much. We boot you out. You take in Middendorp. Middendorp loses the league by 1 point, or whatever the point was, on the last day. You know, you guys can say, better luck next time. You say you kick him out. Now you bring in Kevin Hunt. He reaches you to the MTN 8, I mean, whatever, CAF finals. You know, you don't like his style of play, you don't like whatever, you kick him out. At what point do you guys say, you know what, let's trust the process? Even like Chiefs has always been close to achieving something, and then when it's just that close, you give up on the process. I think that's where you guys need to start, you know. And like I said, Chiefs' problem is quite complex, and it's complex for 2 things. I'm just gonna give me the last 2 minutes. Look at Sundowns. I'm just gonna compare to Sundowns. You look at Chiefs. Let's just consider the technical team, Chiefs has now Kevin. The deputy is Kevin Johnson. Dylan Shepherd. The goalkeeper coach is Dicken Leka and Matiba. And you have the sporting director is Ujimi. Umutau Jr. Then you have the manager who is Bobby. You know, I won't go much into those, you know. And you look at that. That is the Chiefs. And then the development coach is now 10 people one. That is Chiefs technical team. Compare that to their counterparts. You look at Sundowns. Sundowns has Rani Mokoena as the head coach, and then you have assistants in terms of Michael Loftman and Wendell Robertson. Wendell Robertson is not a goalkeeper coach. He's a goalkeeper coach and an assistant, because most of the time he's standing even more than Mangoba. And then you have Mangoba, you know, as the first team coach. And then you look at it and say performance analyst, just like 3 or 4 performance analysts. You know,
now in there.
Yes, you know, you then look at other key areas like the sporting director. We have Fleming, you know, we have head of professional football. I don't even know what that guy does, but sounds fancy, you know, it's like the direction of football, you know. And we have sports scientists, we have head of academy development, the recent guy Tabo Santos, you know, you have academy vision, stuff like that. You see, that's a whole technical team. There's a process. We can look at Sundowns, so like from the first team to the development, this is the plan. You look at Chiefs, you guys are taking out Ozwani from first team and bringing him to the development. Is there going to be synergy between the development and the head coach?
Exactly.
You know, what are you guys trying to achieve with Ozwani?
Thank you.
Like that's why I don't get it. And again, it goes back to the lack of vision. Onaibi didn't want Ozwani and Shepard as his assistants. That was where the thing started to break off. And 2-3 months later, you demote Ozwani. Couldn't you just have demoted him then?
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you.
And that's where my problem is with Chiefs, like, is this lack of vision. So, as my final words, I don't think hiring Kevin Johnson solves any problem. You're just moving in middle. There's nothing. You're not solving anything. What do you guys need to say? I think I want you guys to maybe follow a United kind of thing. You have brought in an interim who's like Ralph Ragnick. You're going to have up and downs, don't care. You guys from now start talking to coach.
6 months.
And whatever coach you talk to, he says, you guys even in general can announce that end of the league, we are going to bring in this coach. And then don't do a soldier. Even if Kevin Johnson does miracles and pushes you guys in top 4, Don't just hire him just on the back of that. Take O Johnson back to head of development. You can laugh about with this guy, this boy who ruined his career. It is TV.
Junior.
Junior. He always talks about Farouk Khan. You need people like that. You need Farouk Khan. You need people like that. So bring in those restructure. I'm not saying kick out the Motaungs, but do like Mutlopi Junior. He surrounded himself with good people. So bring in a coach. A coach comes up with a plan for across the first team, reserves, and the development. And you guys follow that plan. And you stick to that plan for 3 or 4 years. That's when you guys can solve your problems. This thing of changing coaches like you're changing underwears, it won't solve anything for you guys. But it's fine. You guys can continue with the spirit of Chiban Pengis. It's fine. You guys change coaches like Victoria Girls changed Nigerian men.
Every time. No, look, that's what I was saying. That here's my problem with Kaizer Chiefs. Just give me a second. Here's my problem with Kaizer Chiefs. I think the problem started with the hiring of Steve. I think they saw Pizzo and they wanted to emulate that, which meant that they moved away from what Chiefs is good at and what Chiefs has been good at for years. Bobby had been running Chiefs the same way ever since. But I think the problem started when they started trying to do those things, but they didn't copy the whole thing. So they saw, they hired a local coach and gave him time. They didn't see the background stuff, everything that was happening. Pizzo hiring Abo Mangoba, bringing in Rulani came from under 19, bringing in those people, building a structure. We didn't do all of that stuff. So we stuck to the buzzwords of, it's a project. No, and we're building for the future. This building word, right? When in actual fact, I believe Chiefs was at its best when they knew, I'm bringing in a coach who coach knows, I've got 2 years. I don't have time. You land, you do a job, you leave. Think about all of the coaches we had. Land, win, leave. Because one, they didn't have to deal with the family. Like that. They're coming to do a job. Look at Rivero. Rivero didn't even have a preseason. But you know what happened? Job. Arrived, looked at the team, won. So now we need, if we're going to work at Kaizer Chiefs and you're going to say that Abopobi are still going to be there at the end of the day, that means that you need to bring in coaches as you used to bring in. Coaches who come in, do the job and leave. They don't care about player development. They don't care about coming together and they looking after players. Last thing on their mind, they've come in to do a job. Because all the other coaches, Kevin Hunt, they have these personal connections with the players and they want to develop and they want to do this. It's not going to happen at Kaizer Chiefs. So it's either you go back to what Kaizer Chiefs was or you fully embrace what you want to do. And if it's Sundowns football, make sure that you have 25 people underneath your coach, underneath in the structure and all of that stuff. Because that's what they did. They invested in it. But then if you're going to go, we're developing, but then still keep the same attitude of old Chiefs and then hire coaches that aren't ready, what are you gonna achieve? Anyway, Velile, welcome to the show, my brother. Ngikho right, Velile, ngikho right. Le team yami ingiphethe kabi man.
Do you know in most cases I used to ask myself when they always said Gucci, it's Sundowns, why does it have so many supporters lately? And abanye 37, abanye babakafiki naku 50. And then but now after listening to Agent 007 and they were so patiently in the Chiefs, you could hear what it comes from inside. Even say and we were supporting a team before. Ayanga. Because say uyabeka kamnandi uyayiza ukuthi iphuma ngaphakathi lento manje kusasela lento yeah no man yeah Chiefs angazi network yami right in that because I just see the red stuff there. But I hope everybody can hear me now, young news. So yeah, also to add on what Uringa was saying, if when he said that, good, this thing is also sure with there's also some family feud because well, if you look back during that statement, it's so good this a family business. Abanye abantu basithathela phezulu that statement. But if you've listened to it, quoting Upobi, he said that, and also those who think that who also say that Upobi must resign. You must know that this is also my father's team. The key word, it's also. My father is a chairman here in this team, and I didn't apply and put any CV here. This is a family business. And they did also by they raise it. Duguti. That statement was not only directed to Chiefs fans, but also to some of the family members who were against him. If you follow the family history, you know to Ubobi related kanjani kunalaba abanye. That's why sometimes if you look, it took them time to incorporate uJunior into the position le akuyo manje uke wahlala nyana angekho lapha but yeah ukudlula nje lapho I think this thing I crash when you go back by the time Prime Media sold their 40% stake
Yeah.
it's Chiefs because remember Prime Media used to be the shareholder like 40%.
Yeah.
And then so when they decided to sell their stake back to each man who bought the stake and owned the team 100%. So now you see more of the family members coming in. Because Babakhona before Bobby, I think in Cecil and also no Jessica. But then that's what you see now. Abanye Bezak, okay, let's another one coming in to join the family business. Even though that's why I've said in most cases, communication team poor because since then we don't know what have they sold those shares maybe to other shareholders and then what are their contribution to bring into the business or they're just silent shareholders who just going to receive the dividends. But the time Prime Minister was there, you could see they were using all the communication here. It was proper. They had a magazine like a course magazine. In media side, you have the digital media, whether it's print or the digital site here. But at that particular time, it went well because the Prime Minister now has got shareholders. So if the Kaizer Chiefs is also form one of its subsidiary business, it has to be accountable on anything that it's doing. So we don't know the reason why they decided to sell that stake. But yeah, it started there. Moving forward, Manyama coach, they've made blunders, but I think the biggest blunder that they've made was the firing of Gavin Hunt. Because Gavin Hunt is the only coach Chiefs of figure ongazange even to get an opportunity to buy even a single player. He found a situation there. Esikhoze wuyo uBobby just because yena usindele ukuthi Kaizer Chiefs the family business yakubo. He was not fired. The same thing yenzo uBobby. That's the same situation that led to ukuxoshwa kuka Silonduna ku Bloemfontein Celtic. For the same thing, if you know, Silonduna was fired for that same incident of not by paying other case got so the same thing and the ilento foot eyenzeka futhi ku-Royal AM kumamkhize futhi nabo angithi they're still following the same pattern ama-family business lawo. They don't want anyone to be accountable if you know they make big blunders because this blunder Kadurkovic is huge now. It can go if you had a serious shareholder there or a person who's serious about this business losing 12 million a year player elingadlala ngisho even the 5 minutes edlale kumakhuve. That's a serious misconduct if you're a director of that business. But Gavin Hunt and he came out and specified ukuthi since in the team like we're gonna promote so many players away from our development, but what we're gonna do now, we have to sacrifice e-league and focus CAF because the CAF is a cup competition. You get in there, you just grind those results, you move forward. Bamxosha semi-final in the Champions League, and by that time I think it was no number 10, 12 or 11 league, and I bengek is relegate to Chiefs at that particular time, and come next season, the following year, then having a chance to start building his own team and buy his own players, and that situation there, it needed chairman. Kaizer, njengoMutsiba, what he did to Sundowns when supporters they were trying to chase Upito. Remember that the following day, Umutsiba called out a press conference and said there's no way Upito is not going anywhere. This is the project that we're trying to build and we're gonna give Upito the whole support. And here it is Sundowns today. That's why I'm just saying situation Kevin had it needed the chairman to come out and say, supporters, Kevin Hart is not going anywhere. First of all, he didn't even buy even a single player. We are banned by FIFA currently on this season. Let's wait. Let's try and see Good what? Who knows? Maybe Chiefs could be in a star match. Because surely I think Kevin Hunt would have come up with, even though my players been risky, but Kevin Hunt would have come up with a plan to counter Ikayalakli at that final. Not Lenta Bayenza Sababu Parksa to take over, even from Naguata's one. So I think that was the problem. Kevin Hunt was not even supported by the chairman at that particular time. And then
I was saying, Veli, isn't that the problem? Yoguti, the one thing I always say about the Kaizer Chiefs is you scapegoat the fans, but and now in you guys, you guys interviewed him, you guys planned, you guys did everything. You can't even come out in front of the fans and say, as in guys, now we believe in our plan that we made. You get what I mean? How am I meant to believe in Kaizer Chiefs, meant to believe in the decisions, if me na nyakuluma, when nyakuluma, a couple of fans speak, all of a sudden, ni plan chinchile food. You get what I mean?
yeah. But do you know that's what I'm saying, it goes to leadership. If now I can ask you, who's the fall guy, who management, who take decision and say this is a decision that the club is taking, this is a direction that we are taking, we've bought these players and we've bought this coach and we want to give him this support. Who stood up there? Because all of them, they are talking.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Jessica talking more than Upobi or even Kaizer. All of them, they're talking. You don't know. We don't have a guy that you will go through. We know Utlop is the chairperson. When he speaks, Urulani is a coach. Magakuluma, that's his final way. It goes. So you know who's the go-to guy. But if go at that gap, you could hours when is this, that's where uthola vele kuba that gap yokuthi ugcina kulelo ikhundla vele nyana, because each and everyone will try to prove his worth, because kusekhaya vele la kumele kubonakala ukuthi hayi cha yimi yona ngiyawazi lo msebenzi nani nani. But I think if the chairman can sit down, if you have to appoint a CEO here, chief, and say, my guy, the decision they start here, they end here. Maybe they can have direction. But as long as Sakuluma Lona, the coach will always be the fall guy. Also, coach who set a scheme is one who's taking a team every weekend to each and every game. Tactics. He'll always be the fall guy, because this is the person who is like the coach, do this and this and this. This is the person who's driving this business or this team, whichever decision that we're taking, or every strategy that we want to implement. So, you see. So, but let's hope Calvin, he'll do well for the next month. It's only 1 month by November. If they have to start now, just appoint a coach, whereby Marcia could break on December with Kev also in February. I think the coach will have enough time maybe to see him a place. Now was because I think so the new coach will have enough time, but on this time they have to go all out and just go and get a coach, a proper coach, man.
I wish Guti Bastale the whole season. Baga movie next. They must just do research. Come the beginning of next season. But announce not just the coach, but announce structure song.
Yeah.
I wish. But yeah, as you know your team. But the next time.
But let's hope for it, because I see another moonshot perk forming up. Was a team hey one black label. So there'll be another moonshot perk that's going to be formed.
No, thank you, Belile. Belile is actually a subscriber, a member on YouTube. That's why I let him speak a little bit longer. He's a member on YouTube who pays 60 Rand. Thank you so much, Belile. Let me bring in Zesho. Zesho. Hey, team yako Zesho. Hey, team yako.
Okay.
Hey. Hi.
Yazi nje mina lenhliziyo mayisabi nabuhlungu yazi seyizwene pain kakhulu kabi hayi seyizwe ipain ayisabi nabuhlungu inhliziyo hayi sabi buhlungu kwamampela
uthini ngale ndaba yaye
angeke
kaNtseki
kuningi amaphepha azoshesha kakhulu hayi ngizogcwalisela kulento leyo amajita ayikhulumile. I think I heard u-agent akhuluma ngendaba yama-cut, like bathandile ukuyenza ama-shortcut. If you remember quite well, kunala mesifuna unabi, and then Undabi couldn't come because of Merazifunela ama-assistant coach wabo what. But they had to benze le decision ebayenzayo nguNtseki noZwane. Why couldn't they do it before and then bazokhona ukuthatha unabi and stuff so
Yes.
that you can move on? Yinto engikhalisayo ngama-shortcuts wabo ukuthi bathanda like ngathi vele into ezifishane yabo. So I think I think I've once mentioned this ukuthi I think there are misunderstandings njengoba nokuvelile mekasho vele ukuthi lapha bayacabana abazwani, so as long nje bangazwani le kuma management izophelela konke until ku-team yabona, so ayikho into ezolunga makusasenjalo sisazosokola. As I was mentioning le ndaba ama-shortcuts yabona no-Calvin Johnson bamenze i-interim coach, but let me tell you this, if it happens that Calvin Johnson does well, they're going to give him the post coaching. So that's why ngithi bathanda vele lento ukuthi izinto ezifishane yabona, so angazi ukuthi kuzoyenzakalani if it doesn't do well. Obviously bazombuyisela lapho futhi ku-technical intoni yabo and then seek for another coach. So it's going to be a long season nje. Ngimele nje ukuthi le season nje iphele, inhliziyo yami iqale kabusha nje next season sibone ukuthi kuyiwaphi. Into enye futhi is like they are afraid like said more about budget yabo, about making money. They are not longer concerned a team formally. You can see ngama decision awayenzayo, they were namanje bayasaba ukuxosha uZwane because they know they're gonna have to pay him the whole package. It's not that bafuna ukumkhipha, that's my mind. I don't think bafuna ukumkhipha, they just want ukuthi asebenze bambhadale the way kumele bambhadale ngakhona, bafuna ukukhipha the whole purchase. Hence abanye bocoach baye babacosha bohunt laphaya babanikeza wonke imphako yabo. I don't know ukuthi why ibudget ibaluleke kanje kubo, to bring in izinto eziquality. Yazi when quality, in fact you will get quality. You don't have to ukuthi when you have to spend a good quality yabona. So kuzoba nzima kithi, and then I think ukuthi i-coach ezofika lapho kithi le angazi ukuthi ubani uKevin interim akakabi head coach. I think nje kumele sithole njengoba basho nabo kuma-media ukuthi the player Chiefs mele ithole have to hit the ground running. So naku-Chiefs akufuneki abantu abafana naboZwane naboNtseki, those experience. So the problem there is like iqale lapho, like I think it's gonna get worse until we get a proper coach, a coach who have won medals or several trophies. A coach who knows how to win. Mina Calvin Johnson, like I'm not sure, 'cause to me it's kind of like Abo Siema, it's kind of like those other
Abo
coaches.
Steve.
You don't understand. So for me now, Uncle so like yeah, he's kind of like Vela Steve, because if he does not do well, I'm neither less skunda less cool. So and then I heard you saying blame ama fan via in I think not ama fans mind, hey, as never sometimes I understand ngoba uKevin Johnson uzodlala 4 games ne, maybe une-3 lapho adraw 2 or adliwe wana adraw yeah, something like that. And then ukuya le mekangaluza maybe 4 games 5 games in a row, who's going to turn against Calvin Johnson? It's us. And then nathi nje ama-fan, like sometimes sibanga i-confusion like unnecessary, like sometimes us understand, we understand us. So khuluma ngalento le khona into mention ngumilendo ukuthi aeroplane what you are more concerned futhi nge-style of play in angathi Calvin Johnson mebazidlalise sidlale enye into nje awine mara sizokhala understand. So angazi ukuthi thina why mele senze kanje, and then nama-reactions wethu sometimes they are uncalled for ukuthi lento yenzakela uNtseki mina for mina okay nami I'm part of those people vele uNtseki misakasiqeda, but I'm not lento ukuthi baloke bashaya abantu bayenza ini lento leyo man. Lento leyo buhlungu, uyabona nocoach bayemphathanga kahle le mekafuna nokukhala, uyambona ukuthi mezila enyembezi inhliziyo yakhe ibuhlungu kabi, like cabanga like his wife or abantwana bakhe bambukele abantu bamenza kanje. Even now, if Mo coach, your family wouldn't like ukuthi bakutreat so. So I
Mara,
think
you took
nathi
the
as the fans,
job. Mara, you took the job, Zeshu. Bekumnandi salary ngena. Bekumnandi nishuta amaphoto lapha. Kumnandi. This is part of the job. Whether right or wrong, it's part of the job.
yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. I think yes, Chiefs like yes, you said before, Muti. Now I'm blaming the management because they bamfake ku deep end like for real like team efana nabo Paris nabo Chiefs so you need ama coach experience so Ntseki yena simfake ku deep end to be ukukhuluma iqiniso because na 8 years 9 years singawini trophy singawini next so bekuzoba nzima obviously so yena naye ube nesibindi and then naye vele uyewasho Chiefs team enkulu I have to ngi-accept what pressure eza nayo i-Chiefs so I think ukumzwela kwami maybe ngiyamzwela ngoba maybe human lento abayenzile but bamfakile ku-deep end so I think i-management yethu kumele icale ukulungisa inkinga kubo kucala before they can go reach lapha kubo-assistant in cause yonke into eningi iyayenzakala uzibuze ukuthi I once ngacomplaina nge-physical trainer yethu umuzi uzobona kumele bamkhiphe na that guy like ama-player wethu ahlezi injury ayiqali manje lento leyo uDuprez ngoba ulimala ejimini most of the guys balimala kuma-gyming ababakhahleli so I'm more concerned about everything that's happening lento leyo ukuthi bafakane ngobuhlobo laphaya etimini bafakane ngokwazana ukuthi we know who it's going to be a problem for each so kumele bazilungise bona boBobby bekele ukucabana and argue ngoba ikhona lento le njengoba uBobby vele mekasho ukuthi kuyacatshwana lapha letha kungekho mnandi manje.
Hayi ngiyakuzwa Prazesho itsisivulela abanye before I let Malume Kutso in guys again you know that the job is the job. Molefi Ntseki's biggest mistake I believe was that he didn't have anyone on his side. At some point you need to have either management, either fans or either the players on your side. Pizzo does very well with this because he usually gets the players on side and they play for him so that whatever's happening in the background, somebody's winning for me on the pitch. He had it at Sundowns when Motsepe can step out and say, you know what, I am protecting you. I will come out and protect you. Issue with Kaizer Chiefs coaches is that you fight the fans, protecting the family. You go to the family scapegoats you. You go to the players don't look at you seriously because nobody else is looking at you seriously. So again, tactics, last thing on your mind when you're coaching a big team. Ntseki didn't have anyone behind him. And this is what happened. Clearly, Uzwane has someone behind him. Clearly, Shepard has someone behind them because they don't get scapegoated like this. So maybe Kevin Johnson must also learn that management is not for you. Try get the players, try get the fans. Malume Kutso, I know you've been patient.
Yeah, no. Hey, it is as I have a clue when you're just listening to you guys. I was ready to troll, Mara. The last speaker, you kept saying, trying to jump, but I just wanted to go on and on. I said, but there's a saying that I learned this past week, and it's very relevant. It says, "Ukubaluleka kwamanzi uwabona sephelile." See, in 2015, that's the last time Chiefs won a trophy. It was sad. I remember having a conversation with one of my comrades. It was sad how they treated their best players that season. They threw them out just like trash, with the leading with the phrase, "No one is bigger than the team." I'm talking about Mandla Masango, Tefo Majamaite, Kingston Carter, even Itumelo Nkune. Imagine you win a league and followed by a mass exodus of key players, of the coach, Stuart Banks. He also said, this doesn't make sense, I'm out. With the squad, and Mandla Masango, I just checked, he was 25. that season.
Mm.
You understand? They could have won the league back to back. They could have gone on Iran dominating back to my 3 league titles, if not interchanging the Sundowns as well as Evades, just adding players here and there.
Mm.
But what did they choose to do? To say, no one is bigger than the team. I think we can all take it as a lesson. When things are going right, don't necessarily throw people under the bus and look down on people. Everyone has an integral role to play, especially if it was a team effort. Don't just take the glory alone. Understand you did it as a team or whatever with your family. Just remember who played their roles. You understand? Because right now, where Chiefs is, it's going to be difficult to just solve it. The spirit of the team died that day or that year when players saw we are disposable, and it was followed on by Abo Shabalala, Abo Yeye, just leaving Jay. Right now it's Umatoho. That thing says a lot to players. Let's mirror it to Sundowns. Well, obviously Sundowns are doing well, so whatever they do right now, we see it as gold, even if Sterling did wrong. But let's mirror it with Sundowns. Bomba Bunda, Abo Shompokekana, they are still working in the team. You understand? They haven't been thrown to the dogs, JFL. Some of the key players, not just any player, key players, I repeat, just key players. At least treat them with respect. Give players that ambition, that courage to say, if I commit myself to this team, if I put my all for this team, if I give my all, I'll be greatly rewarded in the future. You understand? Because right now, we see players do what they did. It's my view. It's not true. It's my view where I see what happened when Downs won the league on the last day. That was not a Downs win. The coach was sabotaged. Kambula's goal could have been saved, but someone chose to dive to the bottom. I don't get why people don't crucify him for what he did that day. And you heard Umirindo also point to it. You killed me, boy. I saw what you did. You let in that goal come home. Maybe it might not be true, but it looked like it. And those were the same exact words that Molefi Ntseki said. If you listen to that press conference, that goal could have been saved. This guy just threw me under the bus. He might have not said it directly, but I get a compilation seeing with what did Eden Spirindop say and listening to Ntseki. As you can see, he's livid. He's expressing himself with it. I saw what you did, my boy. It's fine. Don't understand. And Jens, calm down on coaches a bit. Calm down. I know you're supposed to you're supposed to put them under pressure, but just calm down. The guy just said what you complained about when I lay Hendrik, that last 5 minutes coach should have done something. The guy just admitted I couldn't do anything because I was thinking about my safety. How am I leaving this?
I could so.
That.
Then score the goal. Show me that. No, don't worry about your safety. Got one goal. Throw the kitchen sink.
There's a guy, if you listen to Shakes Mashaba, he says when they're sitting there on the bench, there's a guy who's consistently saying, I wanna win, I'm with you. And he knew with it. These ones, they're not joking. They are
win the game.
Maybe
then show us you want to win the game, Mara.
Like I'm saying, maybe he's not the right guy. He doesn't have the right temperament. But you can't just ignore what he just said to say, guys, towards the end, I was just thinking about my life. I was not thinking about the game. He just said that. If you listen to that press conference differently, he said, I didn't care what was happening about the game. I was looking for an exit to say, okay, as I was planning for extra time, Kune just decided to let it in. And then he saw which they already tracking me, so let me just see other holes. Don't understand? So all I'm saying is to Chiefs fans, guys, just calm down.
Now I'm fighting you. He saw Zwane go through the same thing the previous year. But you know what was nice? When they gave you the contract and they said, sign here, and you took the job. He had the best seats in the house to see Zwane go through what Zwane went through when they were throwing things at him. I can't excuse him.
And you're not lying. But let's check the track record. We've seen Steve have his life under threat. We've seen Unkata have his life under threat. We've seen Coach Molefi Ntseki have his life under threat. We've seen Coach Atazwani. We've seen NS Mililo. What has it yielded?
I also saw Stuart Baxter win the league. Same pressure. Vemezovic, Solinas, Papic, all of them under the same pressure, but they won.
Here's what I'm saying. Were you aggressive with Stuart Baxter towards him?
No, actually, in the beginning, yes. I was one of them. I did not like Stuart Baxter at all.
Okay, no, mina ngithi ngiyanithipisa bafethu ukuthi ngikhona ukuwina. All I'm saying is continue, Nala and Tabisa anyway, keep threatening their lives. I heard Ugutu Oxim Church is also part of the problem now. He has 2 weeks at the team, and it's the reason why you're going through an 80th round. Do that to Calvin Johnson as well, Jenski. Happy Galuna, Jens. Keep it up.
No, but you know what I love? Look at your team. Jose was a plumber. A trophy. Done. No one's calling him a plumber last mile. You guys hated him when he got here. You get what I mean?
No, Mr. You're wrong. Runa Pirates fans, we all kept quiet. It was from the other side who called him the plumber, the journalists.
People were going off on Rivero.
Trust me. It was all the other guys. And I'll tell you where it emanated from. Well, possibly.
Allegedly.
It is, yeah. Not even allegedly. I'm just saying possibly. It is TV. Probably are the ones who said it's another plumber. And then it took off. And they did not mean malice, but it took off. It was not Pirates fans, guys.
But what did the Rivero do in reply to Plumber?
No, he won with bad football. And even today, we still have our agent questioning our coach. It's never Pirates supporters. It's always from the other camps. Now we are chilled. We are supporting our coach. My advice to Chiefs fans, calm down and support the coach. Just try it. All right.
No, you have to win us over. I'm at the point where I'm like, whoever signs for Chiefs, whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, it could be Pizzo. Sign with your eyes open. This is 8 years of frustration that you have to deal with because by say we're looking for solutions and you put your name down. Nobody forced you, nobody said whatever, you came. And when it's time to do marketing, I'll even say, when it's time to do marketing and it's time to, hey, poster, home nati, happy video, it's great. But now, when things go wrong, you need to know how to maneuver there too. It was so nice when Ntseki took over, all these things. So it's up to you, knowing what you're walking into. At the very least, try win over the fans. That's why I love the foreign coaches. Because the foreign coaches, do you know why I love Baxter? Baxter, when he came, he didn't know about the derby. He didn't know about Chiefs. He didn't know about Pirates. He didn't know about anything. He walked in. There was animosity. There was all that stuff. And he was like, guys, I'm winning a league here. And he won the league. You get what I mean? So, but this thing of like coaches being treated as though they don't know what they're signing up for. That one, happened. Ntseki was in his steady at Kaizer Chiefs.
On my part, can I just give you an example?
Yeah.
Ungoja. Is it Ungoja? It's not even Ungoja. It's someone, Karakimang Somza. Somza says, Kuto, don't act like you're playing good football. It's never Pirates fans who criticize our coach. It's always you guys, and you'll do that to your own team. And I think someone responds and says, they're winning cups. And he's still going to say, yeah, penalty. You all actually did that to Kingston Cat when he was winning your league. You're like, poo, we still don't want you. Guys, it's about winning. Or you'll pick if I actually felt sick to you all with these guys. They just want to go on and. They don't care about wins. I think, Luna, you'll support Chiefs to get rid of his stress during the week. whatever they do, you just wanna throw everything on them.
Ay, Malume Kutso. You know,
But
there
all
was a
right.
time at Kaizer Chiefs where we won trophies every year. Love and peace. Why say love and peace? We won trophies every year. We were doing this. There was no complaints. There was no nothing. And at the moment Steve stopped winning, Happy Steve is even worse because Steve followed a winning coach. So I understand, dear Steve. The moment you stop doing this, 8 years ago, fail.
I try be abafana bokuthula ngoxolo, gents. But if you don't want to, it's fine. Naki happy galona.
Besithula ngoxolo ngama-trophy, mara I think Kutso, but it's fine. Let me bring it to Theo. Theo, salubatshele man,
Hey.
phela thina besiwina. Hey, besiwina every year, Joe.
Hey.
Besiwina.
Yeah. I-Chiefs ifana nale ex yakho le njalo kumele ukhiphe izinto utshengise ukuthi yabo, this is what I used to do, you know, umlandelo umlando. Senza njalo vele, guys. I mean, I'm angry. I'm really angry. I'm pissed off. I know sesehlile abanye bethu, but I'm still frustrated, guys. You cannot tell me ukuthi, you know, we knew, guys. We knew this guy is not gonna last. We knew the management, like, these are not new things, guys. We knew ukuthi sithenga ama second hand, sithenga ama free agent. Yes, there are so many things that we know about Chiefs that are so useless. We knew ukuthi coach iyafika inikwe mandate yenzeka imandate mayingasafunde into ejabulisa management, then they fire him.
Yes.
I was listening to Kevin Hunt today. I mean, that video yakhe le what's the show on site. Hey, what he said there, it made me so angry, Mr. Oti. I was so angry. I never loved Kevin Hunt, but when I heard what Chiefs did to him, it was unfair, guys. The guy gets to Chiefs, they give him a mandate. They tell him, Chiefs, Lena, we want you. We know we cannot sign players. It's our fault, but what we want you to do, go in good league, finish in top 10. Yabo. Finish in top 10. Go careful, at least put us in out of the group stages. Maybe last 16, it's fine. The guy goes and he does a miracle that has never been done by any Chiefs coach. He takes the Chiefs, we better go semi-finals. Actually, they said they want to be in number 6, and then they were in number 10. Yet he says the next day he wakes up and that he has to go and play semi-final. Is being told that you are fired. And you can't tell me this is just something that just happened overnight. It Chiefs, there's a manipulation to management.
Yes.
There are so many things that are so frustrating, that are so Chiefs. What do we have to do with our Chiefs? What do we care about our Chiefs? We are busy, changing jerseys, mindset jerseys, because they're trying to bribe us. We wanted to Mendieta, guys. We wanted Mendieta. We wanted to Mbula. I can count you so many players that we wanted. They kept on saying, no, they are changing the price. Sundowns is buying the very same players that to exchange your Konama price. You understand? You want the player, go and buy him. We manage they are gonna bribe us and say we bought him. Oksala, we was left with 1 season. We were not gonna go and buy that player. This season is a well. You understand? I'm 3 years. In terms of we are busy buying free agents. And the very same problem, we bring these players, more figure like we want them to compete number player Sundowns. You can't do that. That's why Sundowns went abroad and fetched to Allende. We don't know the price of corner because Nakona I think Namang. They went and they fetched to Allende, but we are now. Even if no figure like you see what they bought. What did we buy, Tina? We are busy number player. It's like a come on, guys. No, we can't be doing that. It's very frustrating, and it's like this management can see we are a laughing stock. We are a serious laughing stock, and it's so frustrating. Yeah, we defend the Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs say defend. We defend. No defend. For an example, I get the fact that okay, Ntseki hambile, guys. Okay, it's fine. We bring in Kevin Johnson. My problem is we say he's a caretaker. We're not saying he's a leading coach or Sese Amhara. We're saying he's a caretaker. Kevin Johnson does good. Maybe finish up number 3 or number 4. All of a sudden, they're offering me a new contract. After a few days, a few games, if Kevin Johnson loses maybe 3 games in a row, they say Akala Futisal. Tina, we are hating the coaches, not understanding that it's the management that keeps on making the same mistakes over and over
decisions,
again.
yes.
Yes, Dr. Kumalo, guys, he said this a lot. I think it was 2017 or 18. He said it to Guti Chiefs if you try shortcut in Nanani, and they were integrating him into the management. Nanan, all of a sudden they put him aside. In management, I that's why we couldn't hire Upen because we knew Upen was gonna go with them. They couldn't hire Upen so because they knew
exactly.
They knew that they were going to go at them. So actually what they do, they hire a puppet. They hire someone that they know. Mabatik Sasa Peck and go, you won't have any say. You won't go to the media because you sign an NDA, you're not going to say anything because you got paid. You understand? Imagine, like, okay, I was a big fan of Zwane, guys. But the problem is, when you bring in Zwane, he failed. Why do you still keep him in the management structure? Push him away. Angithi uhlulekile. Lento bofuna uyenza zanga yenze. Mthatha umqoshe or njengoba manje simbisela ku development for what reason? For what reason?
Yeah.
Why uzochinja ini?
Thank you.
Hi guys, no.
Thank you.
And in Bexel, it's exactly what I'm saying. Kevin Johnson is gonna do good. I promise you. Kevin Johnson he's gonna go for the players. I saw Marty. I think like or something. But I'm sure Mark was angry at him because Nale Pula Lapal Kelayo Al Pasa Natu wanted him to play it, and Max keeps on saying or something like that. The minute you see those things as a coach, exactly where your weights, you need to say, you know what, I need to sit down with my players and win them over. Because in management, guys, was simply just in management based so that when he falls, Bazosh good high coach. How many times have you been blaming coaches?
Yes.
How many times? Midendopu guys, he finished in number 2. That guy was fired within actually before 2 games. He was already fired. I promise you. He knew he was already fired. And we're gonna come here, even if you won the league, I promise you, you are still gonna get fired. Because they don't want someone who's gonna impose them. They don't want someone who's over jail to do this, don't do this. This is what I want. This is the kind of players that I want. This is the kind of technical team that I want. They don't want that. Kevin Johnson, they've already chosen for him in technical team. For what reason? Let him choose his own technical team. When we fails, play my but manager, so we are showing to us good the problem is with the management.
But also, one last thing, Theo, just to add there. Bolaoma coach, they must know good the mouse side now. You must know where you're going. And if you're accepting not having your team, not having your what, you're going to be scapegoated.
We are always saying this thing, guys. It's not charity, it's a job. You are getting paid. Right, because you are getting paid for that. Chiefs guys is not Chiefs guys like see cheaper United. We don't care, but we're not cheaper United, guys. We have been there for the longest time. Sundowns knows. I said this they know we can compete. So if you're gonna keep on saying I'm a coach, coaches need to come and know the pressure. Coaches need to come and know which I'm going into a team, which I'm a player can sabotage me. In management can sabotage me. As a coach, go there and know your plan. Go there and have your own players. That's why I mean, Chiefs. Chiefs, they're gonna compete. I know they're gonna compete because Kevin Johnson, I think the football that he wants to play, he has the players for that. But the sad part is, come next season, they're not gonna go for any like what I want is buy quality players. If need be, go to Sundowns. Sundowns is funny players so lagin. Instead, if you Sereno Sebab Kugile, Sebama rejects, for what reason? For what reason? No, we can't be doing that and then expect to be called the big team. We need to end our status this time around. If need be, guys, I go putting a churena or the short management with because we cannot be having this. We cannot be busy hating on coaches while we know the problem with management, guys. The problem is management, clear and straight to the point.
Nyabonga. Hey. No, guys. Thank you so much. PK, welcome.
My brother, greetings. How are you?
We're hyped up, Marasizatin. What are we gonna say?
Yeah, no, I understand. Let me firstly say, hi guys, we feel your pain. We are seeing what is happening. Is very disappointing. We might joke about it. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but the brand is honestly dragged in the mud. And one of the things we would like one day Chiefs to rise. Eh? We would like Chiefs to rise, but this is a problem, and I'm just gonna point problem. Window dressing. One, Chiefs must stop window dressing with coaches
Yes.
and deal with the
Yes.
root cause. Secondly, you see, when you know you have people and you start to be arrogant and take the loyalty of people for granted because they don't have option but to support you, it's a problem on itself. We have seen this thing, and I just want to make it in parallel with the ruling party today, because this, it seems like it's a South African problem, this thing of mediocrity, and we are subjected to things that we can see with our bare eyes that we are not given quality, and we have to accept because we are people of loyalty. We see the ruling party taking people's loyalty for granted and holding them in history. That's exactly what Kaizer Chiefs is doing. Kaizer Chiefs knows there is someone who is 30 years, 25 years, 10 years who's supporting Kaizer Chiefs, and they don't have an option but to buy, because they are good in marketing strategy, to buy the Kaizer Chiefs fan. And I want to show you the psychological part. They even went and make a song that says noma siyadliwa noma siyawina siyohlala whatever, that song. It's a psychological thing. It teaches you that you must be subjected to pain and receive and understand what pain is, right? And it's fun. It's fun, Uti, because even if you look at the very same ruling party, it has those songs. Where it says whether siyafa whether siyenzani siyayisupporta sifela la ne-ANC. Those songs, I'm saying to you, the moment we show people that we must never be subjected to mediocrity, that's where we will gain the respect, right? And I'm not saying the Kaizer Chiefs fans must resort to violence. What the Kaizer Chiefs did on Saturday, it was uncalled for. Yes, we are pained, but this is the political part. OT, I came to your live on after Sundowns game, right? And all the fans were complaining about Zungu. How do you equate the behavior of throwing things at someone and it's fine because you are hurt? At the same time, when someone injures someone from a different team, it's a big problem. He must go and apologize. So I don't want to get into those politics, because we can see the pit bull in the crawl, right? We can see it's fine, but don't subject people to mediocrity. Sundowns is out there. Sundowns is out there. It's performing, and I love it the way you sometimes. And I'm not even sarcastic on this one. I love how you say, guys, can we look up to Sundowns? And we are seeing Pirates coming to the party. Pirates is pulling its socks to say, we want to compete. We are here, despite of winning with penalty and stuff. But this whole thing of 8 years, and you don't even tell your friends a plan to say, okay, guys, let's pause for a moment. We're gonna take 2 seasons. Please, fans, grant us 2 seasons. We are building, and in these 2 seasons, please be patient with you. You see, when someone tells you the truth, to say, be patient with us. We're gonna lose games. We're gonna probably come number 9 and not be in number 8. We are still building. We are moving. Give this coach 2 seasons, and after 2 seasons, if we don't see the results, we will probably step in as fans. But now you bring someone, he comes with his own philosophy. The next thing is going. You are also confusing players. Someone comes, he comes with new philosophy. As he comes, the players, bruh. Look how, and I want to make these decisions. Look how I want to pick 2 players. I want to pick Marco from Pirates. I'm still saying that boy plays with his heart, his soul, his spirit for Pirates. I want to pick Rowan Williams when he saves, when he make it's just a save to Sundowns. You see how much it means. It's a mental thing. Look at Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, you make a mistake. And after making him, you don't even care, you don't come, you don't do anything, you don't cover, you don't mark. I'm talking about the behavior of Ngobo when Zwane was a coach, and I don't know, he was substituting Ngobo. He even didn't want to give him a handshake. That's disrespect. And these things are just passing. I was looking at Mart. And when coach was speaking to him, and I don't know what he was saying, but you can see he was frustrated right there. So it's something that is beyond kicking the ball, but it runs in the mental capacity now. They are not performing, and they know very well that we are wearing a badge that is greater than us, right? And the fans are expecting that, and truly so. I feel the pain for the fans, guys. There is no structure. There is no philosophy in Kaizer Chiefs. You don't know whether you are going forth or you are going back. So it's really irritating. But this is the arrogancy of the management.
But I also think I like what you highlighted there, because it feels as though there's an entitlement. The players are entitled to play. The coaches are entitled to time. You know, the players are entitled to bad performances and playing the next day. Coaches are entitled to time. The Chiefs management feels like they're entitled to us fans.
Exactly.
Buying the jersey and all of that stuff. Tina, it's almost as if, like when Bobby says, this is my father's team, I didn't put in a CV. It's almost saying, Guti, no, Tina's memenina. We're not asked because of you. We are asked, you get what I mean?
Exactly. Bro, look at I think it was, I don't know, there was an interview when Rulano was sitting in a room and he was very emotional. But he was going with someone, and that person says, no, not for today. Let's take a break. And he took him. There are certain statements that you are not supposed to make in public. Other people, they felt like for you to say to someone, this is I didn't come in with a CV. That statement, it's an arrogant statement.
Yes.
And there are people who are supporting you. Yeah. So you can't say that. You can't say that. So there is someone who doesn't have a voice. I like the sister who was in the panel who was speaking about Saddam. We don't see those guys now in stadiums. We are seeing Bo Papa Wow playing and coming with the coffins in the stadium. But I'm saying those hard supporters who will go, because that statement sometimes it crushes people. And the honest truth is that we cannot resort to violence. We need a solution. I don't know why I'm putting myself as I'm saying we, but Kaizer Chiefs need a solution, guys. I'm tired of joking about Kaizer Chiefs. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. You guys, you must look into this thing, and the coaches must not be used as window dressing for Kaizer Chiefs failures as the puppets. Yeah, that's my thing, my brother.
No, thank you so much, PK, for joining. Let me go into Streets. Streets, it feels like it's half and half. They're always doing the same thing over and over again. It's always the coaches being scapegoated. Things are bigger, man. There seems to be a bigger problem here.
How are you, Mr. Uzi?
Streets, you don't want to know. But anyway, I'm good.
Today's show feels like a funeral. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's bad. Sure. Okay, on Kaizer Chiefs, I feel like every season is the same problem. You hire a coach, you fire him, then you tell us, well, give him time, then you fire him 6 months. Can I ask you right now, how many months until Gavin Johnson is being escorted out of the stadium? Because we're gonna see the same pattern every time.
He's lucky for Kev. After AFCON, it's on.
You see, every time it's the same cycle every time. When will the management take accountability for their actions? Because they are the ones that employ these people. They choose these coaches. When are the fans gonna start going at the management and not the coaches? And I asked you a question on Saturday. I said, how many of the Kaizer Chiefs players get into Sundowns first team?
None. Maybe Castillo had a push, but none.
Exactly. There is no quality Kaizer Chiefs. These players threw Uzwane under the bus. These players threw Ntseki under the bus. What is stopping these players from throwing Calvin Johnson under the bus? They'll do the same thing. It's very much like Manchester United. There's no difference. They want to throw you under the bus. So fans must stop expecting that if a coach comes in, he's gonna somehow change and become a messiah. It's not gonna happen. Kaizer Chiefs are beyond that point. At this point now, they need to get a sporting director. Umtsepe has family, mara. Klopp is the chairman. He's not the sporting director. He's not there. That's not his job. They hire people that know what they are doing in that role. The sporting director also has to generate revenue, has to look at academy stuff, all those type of things. Is Junior ready for that part? Does he understand that field? He doesn't understand, but they put him there as sporting director. Oh, Bobby, what does Bobby do? I keep asking myself, what's his job? He has no, like, also the signings that they were making, guys. You are signing Pulemodi. I was looking at the stats. Last season, Pulemodi, I think he had 3 goals or something in the league and 2 assists at 30 years old. And then you sign a 30-year-old player with that. How is he going to improve Kaizer Chiefs? Let's be honest. Because he's old himself. He doesn't have room. It's hard to coach a player that is old. You can't teach a player that is old. I looked at Potsane as well. Potsane has 2 goals and 2 assists last season. How is he supposed to improve that wing position? You're not bringing somebody that will add value. I mean, also their age. Once a winger becomes old, they want to come inside more. They don't want to hug the touchdown. You're signing 30-year-olds. How are they going to help you in what you are doing? Like, guys, no. There's no direction. Like, it's time that the fans must start looking at the management. The management is the problem, not the coaches. I know Ntseki was a bad tactician. He was making stupid mistakes and the players throwing him under the bus, but the management has to now take up accountability. Because you're going to fire Calvin Johnson after 6 months. Then who else are you going to bring in? You bring in Umniti. You're going to fire him again. And then it's just going to be a never-ending cycle. It's about time that the fans need to start addressing the people at the top. And it must be that. The coaches, leave the coaches, guys. I know they're bad. Mara, you have to start with the top first before you go to the coaches. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say for today.
Okay. But you know, Chiefs fans, man, Chiefs is gonna release Itumeleng Kune anniversary version of the chips, and everybody's gonna be fine again. Nati, we are very in and out on these things.
That's the problem. It's the same cycle every time. We hire a coach, you fire him. Chiefs fans believe we're gonna win a title again. Guys, come on. I'm not even a Chiefs fan, but that means it's a proof.
No. Thank you, Streets. Yeah, but guys, I think the point of today is for us to speak about the deeper things. There's underlying things, man. The players and all of the stuff. There's underlying things that nobody's addressing, right? Players will not have power to take out a coach if management doesn't agree. Fans won't have power to take out a coach if management is also sitting. And when you listen to the stories about Abu Kevin Hunt, I think they don't want CAF football. They don't want CAF. They don't want those things because they add a magnifying glass to you. And once we start seeing them for what they are, it becomes harder for them to do what they need to do. But as long as they release a new kit and everybody buys it, as long as they fire a coach and then all of a sudden everybody's happy again because this coach was fired and now they're bringing in this guy, it's going to carry on being like that. Zalama, welcome to the show. How are you?
Option Henda Sanbonani.
Henda, what do you mean?
Nah, I'm good, my brother. I hope I covered everyone in the panel and on the comments. Yeah, but it's good, man. I'm happy, with the with the decision that Kaizer Chiefs made, like removing Arthur first of all, and Ntseki as well, and bringing Kevin Johnson. Even though I don't feel like he had enough time to blend in, but I feel like he will make a huge impact. And here's why: I believe in baby steps, man. Okay, Tiabo. The decisions that Kaizer Chiefs made from 2020, changing the whole structure. Abu Parker left, a lot of players left. Nukovic. We saw that Kaizer Chiefs was like serious about something. They wanted to do something differently. And it has been a tough journey, but I feel like we're getting closer because if you look at the type of football we're playing right now, it's no longer the same. It's like we're inventing something, my brother. We're inventing something. We're just not there yet, and we need expertise and baby steps, man. We will see. Probably we'll see some introduction of other people in the leadership as well, maybe, or the technical department as well, maybe. I don't know, but I like the fact that they're making these harsh decisions, and I feel like they're paying off in a way. We are not where we want to be as yet, but I feel like we're getting there, man. Like, let's give them time. Let's give these people time.
Mara 8 years the Kaufel and Zalama. 8 years. 8 years.
The thing is, there were other factors. Remember the transfer ban. I don't blame
one season
during that time. Yeah, but it affected because that transfer ban affected other seasons as well, because there was a lot of confusion, a lot of recycling as well. So, yeah, man, I can't blame him that much, man. The one
2015, 2015. Transfer ban was 2021. From 2015, they've had time.
But I don't know, man. I don't know what's the problem with them, ne? As the directors in Kaizer Chiefs, I feel like their only job is to give targets to the coach, and then provide resources for them to reach that target. Let's say our target is to win Champions League. We have to have enough resources. We have a lot of analysis to do. Number two, we need to know what type of players and what type of football we want them to play, and then bring in the right coach to play that type of football. And when I'm looking at Kevin Johnson, the type of football that he likes playing is attacking. Let's be honest. I feel like our coaches that were there were paranoid, man. They didn't want to attack, and that was the problem. They always wanted to defend, but they're playing 7, 8 defenders on the field. They were even Zwan, like that thing affected him as well. He was now paranoid. He didn't know what to do. As an attacking coach who believes in attacking football, now he's playing 7 defenders. He's confused now, So I think one mistake that he did, they had what do you call it? They were the work frame to come up with strategies, and they left it. I feel like they need to go to their files maybe from 2012 and see what work frame did they use at that time, and then go back to that same level and try to develop from there. We'll probably see the same Chiefs that we know, man. Yeah, but that's all I wanted to see, my brother, man. I'm happy with the decision.
No, I'm happy with the decision. I think my question is, why was the decision made in the first place? Because we all knew. Come on, guys. It's logical, this thing. Atazwane had not coached the first team ever in the PSL.
Yeah.
So there was going to be at least a year or two where Atazwane would have to be shielded and learn. But if that was your plan, to have Atazwane, keep your plan. I think that's what I'm also fighting about, because it doesn't seem like they believe in their own plans also. You know what I mean? So if you wanted to develop Atazwane, keep him for 3 years. Whatever the fans say, keep him because that's your plan and your strategy. You probably sat down and asked how they came to it. But then if every day Nyachopa nje, fans get angry, Nyachopa. This thing gets angry, Nyachopa. Coach is doing this, Nyachopa. I can't even at this point trust that those guys are going to make the right decision. You know what I mean? Like, you guys clearly don't believe in your own decisions. So why must I as a fan trust that you're going to do something right, you know?
Yeah, point taken there. Point taken there. Like ish. Yeah, very with Ntseki as well. It's the same issue. But I don't know if you look at Ntseki, I feel like it was more of a business decision because at that time Zwane wasn't doing well. Fans wanted to Zwane out, and then they just tried to deal with the steam, you know, and then brought in Ntseki. But it was just a business. It was just a business idea. It wasn't the plan.
No stress, no
It's
stress,
like
my brother.
KFC, man.
Let me bring in the others. Let me bring the others. Thanks. Let me go to Bongi. Bongi, hey, Angsazi, look, you can be happy about Ntseki leaving Mara. I wouldn't is chincha la. No way, guys.
Good evening. Good evening. I think Nzalama is trying to console you as he can see that you are not okay. I mean, really, like, come on, Nzalama. Like, I mean, no, man, no. I mean, first thing first that I want to touch tonight is that the damage control that they're trying to do in Naturena. First of all, I've got a problem with Kaizer Chiefs recently only doing damage control or making changes because they reply to the pressure they get from the media and fans.
Yes.
That's the only time they say they are changing things, which means to us as football lovers and fans, it simply means that they don't know what they're doing currently, and they don't have something solid or a plan or a structure that says we are working on this and we are going to be consistently working on it. And that's a big problem. I mean, going into the football perspective of the club, the recent scouting of players, I mean, any ordinary player can play for Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, nowadays, like for instance, you perform very well against Kaizer Chiefs, or you get a couple of men of the match which are questionable, you guarantee to sign with Amakosi. You understand? Which I also have a problem with that as well. And now, yes, Zwane was the problem from the beginning. Zwane was a problem, and I also believe with his partner who's left now, who's still in the technical team on the bench. I mean, they were both a problem, and he left, but technically Zwane didn't left. He's still going to have an impact into the failure of the club. I mean, looking at where he is and the impact that he has to make, if he fails to make an impact while he was on the first team, I mean, what impact is going to make in the bottom there to make sure that the team on top is being supported, which is a very, 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 I mean, for me, like, stupid decision. I'm sorry to say that, but it's a very stupid decision. And now Kevin Johnson is being thrown in a lion's den. We know Kevin Johnson is capable. He's a good coach. He has a philosophy of playing, but unfortunately, with who is he going to play the same way he wants? And also, you bring in Kevin Johnson with what mandate, with the position that you're giving him? What mandate do they sit down and say, Kevin Johnson, now we are on A. We want you to take the team from A to C. And this is how we're going to work from here. I mean, for you from here to be able to get into C. And also, now, which we don't know as well, like Kevin Johnson accepted to be the interim coach. I mean, on what terms? Because we're talking about Kaizer Chiefs here.
Yeah.
We don't need interim
Yes.
coaches.
Yes.
We need a very solid structure. We need, a technical team that is going to be convinced without going into the field of play before they can even go to training with the players. That's Kaizer Chiefs. It has to have that influence in terms of a technical team for running Kaizer Chiefs. And now, looking at, like I said, with the players, which means, he doesn't have necessary tools, first of all. Looking at technical bench, going into the players, it doesn't have, necessary tools for him to take Kaizer Chiefs and change the negativity that is on the club currently.
Yes.
And, going into the vision of the club in the football perspective, it's like, football is no longer the priority in Kaizer Chiefs now. It's no longer the priority. And for it to be a priority, we should have been not here by now in terms of fans, behaving as they do in stadiums and also in social media and all the media platforms, for them to be able to do chop and changes. If we can be honest with ourselves from now, is that the management of Kaizer Chiefs, what they are doing, I think it's temporary. Like somebody said, I forgot his name, but he said, I think literally like they're intentionally sabotaging the club for the means of maybe getting someone to come in financially and buy the club so that they can benefit, financially wise. But which, yes, it might be something like that. But with having Kaizer still alive, I don't think that's the case. But what is happening is, with the management of the club, I don't think he was able to sell out his vision of the club to them, to be able to give them an opportunity and say, okay, now from here you can run the club, and this is what we need to achieve, and this is how we're going to achieve it, and we need to work in this manner to achieve it. Like, for instance, Arthur Zwane was still a coach of Kaizer Chiefs behind Ntseki. All the time you'll see Arthur Zwane going to Ntseki, saying something, and he will stand and then start dishing out instruction. Every time you'll see Arthur Zwane going into Ntseki will start doing maybe substitution. So you can tell, and I don't understand that. Why are they still considering the relationship that they have with Arthur Zwane? Despite that he was a player for Kaizer Chiefs. But, yes, he had his time, he contributed for the club, but he was given an opportunity, and he proven over and over that he's failing. He's not going to contribute any positivity to the club, but they still consider the relationship, not considering what they should consider, which is the results. And if they hire somebody, the same thing that they do with Ntseki and the players and everyone, it's like, if you're given a responsibility, you need to be accountable if you don't bring results in your responsibility. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad because if you can even look on the platform, not only Kaizer Chiefs fans coming here, crying and complaining and, crying their heart out. Every football lovers, they can see what is happening, even though most of the things are happening behind closed doors.
Okay, my brother, just for time's sake, I'm going to have to jump in there.
No problem. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, my brother. Let me welcome Somza. Somza, welcome to the show.
Njani mfethu?
Hey, right, marankala ngeteam yami man. Ngikhumbula team yami, ngifuna team yami man.
Mina ngicela sibheke into ezithu. Mina nawe sisayidini liyi-1. Number 1, okay, bese stadium ngibhekile. Azi lama player ku Chiefs awana plan B man. Azi noma sidlala italent lokishini. Besides coach, ukuthi coach yathini yabo. Kuba nalento ukuthi thina sibe ne team talk yethu ukuthi bafethu akusebenzi number 1 no 1. Ubani akaphushe ngaphi, ubani akaphushe ngaphi. yabo lithi mnana bebayenza leli umuntu uthola ibhola ngale kwe-center line la uMarta akora khona bayaliphusha liza phezulu kancane ama-strikers laba ngaphezulu akekho umuntu ogijimayo obonisayo ukuthi mongaphatha ngizolithola le bhola alexile kodwa ibhola naye wazi kanjani ukuthi i-through pass angeke ingene ngapha uyathola akekho umuntu onomqondo we-through pass akekho umuntu owenza ama-run ukuthi akwazi ukuthi ashaye ibhola laphaya instead baphatha amabhola swap ucrossa ngebhola elinganamandla ezotholwa yiplayer lezintuzi and vele ukuthi amaZulu vele bewaneplan ukuthi azohlala emuva bewahleli mara ama-out awana-plan uyathola ngathi akekho umuntu one-experience laphaya endabeni yabo-coach bethu mina ngibhiliva ubo-coach bangaphandle yabo besinalo coach lo ubani konje lo baba lo bekesegugile manje uceda kushona hayi loya muntu lo bona uDimitri noma bamlida thunile loya muntu lo mara second half besazi ukuthi lo muntu uzobuya neplan B beyiwini iChiefs noma bayilida thunile mara lo muntu bekanayo plan B uzwani bekangana plan B uNtseki akana play yabona uNtseki bengasicoach weChiefs lo muntu bekakhavuzwana nami ngiyavumelana nalo muntu oqeda kuphuma lo muntu bamtshela ukuthi hayi wena lo ngoba bayamshaya mshilde wena ngathi coach uwe mara umuntu obekasase icoach atazana akasuke lapho uhlulekile akahamba entwaneni ayosicoacha le ngoba uhluleke total atazwana so thina abantu abafana noNabi uNabi uthe uza nefilosofi yakhe i-team yakhe nje from i-physics no-doctor whatever yonke lento uthi yena uza nayo umuntu onjalo noma bangathi abantwana labafana ubagaya amapilisi nyani ukuthi bagijime ngathi bayahlanya at least uzobe inceda ihlaba uyathola angeke sizikhompere nabo Rulani nabo bani yonke laba badla uzikhompere nalaba namacoach uthi baze ne-coach yangaphandle at least abantu abangamazi abazomsaba bamrespect yabo baba nalento ukuthi yabo angithi bebathi abantu bala eSouth Africa basabe belungu mara now uGavin Hunt azange bamsabe kangako bathi ninga icoach yangaphandle ezoza nemqondo wayo ezoba stubborn futhi number 3 abakhipha uBobby man uBobby noma unamashares amungu ngathi singathola someone ongabhaya uBobby out lapha ya uBobby asuke nje kwi-management ngoba uyi-problem lapho ever since kwafika yena iChiefs ayiperforming uyathola kunomuntu bathe wase-Egypt bekafuna ukuthenga iChiefs mamalelo yabona nale plan le ukuthi kube khona i-competition nje amongst i-management or kusuka abantwana basekhaya ngoba umntana kini uzomshaya kanjani ngempama ukuthi akayenzi zazi umuqasha umuntu esitoro sakho angeke ube uJomo man ube imanager udrive ibhasi uzokwatela abantu ibhizinisi lakho ngoba manje ufuna ukufika ukwatile nje ukuthi hayi izinto zingahambi kahle ushaye lezi zinto ngempama uxosha umuntu yabo manje usisi wakho umxosha kanjani ebhizinisini lasekhaya umxosha kanjani intwana lo ujunior le yabo so lapha noshaharaha mfethu yabo mababuyise sakudala samacoach angaphandle baletha ama-player agijimayo ama-player ne-experience or babuyise bona boshabalala laba bazofundisa labafana ukuthi besenza kanjani yabo into ngicabanga ukuthi mina iChiefs eyayidinga icoach yangaphandle nje nabantu abanengqondo yokucabanga nabantu abazothi mebasegroundini babone ukuthi kushoda la bese bayenza hayi bathenga labantu basawugugile bakhathele la bangakwazi nokugijima ibhola kufuneka liphakathi bese bacabanga ukuthi akakwazi ukugijima lo I'm right
ngiyakuzwa bra hey maybe bazomamela mara mina ngiboni it's almost like isicela abantu ke wabona uwo wrong but then isicela umuntu ukuthi azilungise and angeke uzilungise nawe self angeke uzibone clearly nabo abaziboni but thank you so much Gotcha. I think I'm looking at the time. I'm going to have you be the last one. How are you?
I'm okay. Whatever's
Tell
happening,
me what you think about
okay.
this situation.
But the situation was a setup in the first place. Bringing someone who hasn't coached, who hasn't have experience of coaching, and then putting him in this high position was a gamble in the first place. Uguti, I've understood now Chiefs mentality. Uguti, what they want. They want yes men. They want everyone who associate themselves with Kaizer Chiefs to be the yes bossy, yes type of people. And Uzwane is being kept because he's the yes bossy type of guy, and they will not let him go. He has experience that he's gathered from going to Brazil when he was young and all that. So they want to keep him because it's a special thing. He's friends with these
They
people.
can develop
They're
a
not
yes
going to let
man.
him go. He's a yes man.
They
You know,
can
if you
develop
look at,
one.
remember Osbego still has a position at Chiefs
Yes,
right now.
team
You don't
manager.
remember him as a player, what he used to do. He's there because he's a yes man. And all those players who are smart and who are aggressive in how they do things, they're let out. You know, what Dr. Kumalo, they talk too much. They're too much of bigger brands. So they're going to be chased away. Now, getting back to where Calvin Johnson, guys, there's this terrible thing that we do. Because we are angry about the situation, we then say everything is wrong. Because we didn't like this decision, now we're saying everything is wrong. That doesn't show our maturity. Yeah, but Ntseki was trying to cook something, but the problem is he did not have the equipment himself. I'm not talking about the players. He did not have the technical equipment to sort out the problem he was seeing because it was a new thing to him. But an experienced coach like Kevin Hans came in and said, you know what, to win the Champions League, I just need to play like this. I'm going to beat them. With the players that were already there.
Yes.
Even when there were injured players, he just used the ones he has there. So the difference between having someone who has experience and knows what they're doing versus giving someone the experience in the Chiefs. Imagine these two guys were experiments, Ntseki and Zwane. They were experiments who've never had anything close to coaching in the PSL, but were given Kaizer Chiefs in jail like that, like it was something inherited. Yeah, the difference here with Calvin Johnson, even if you can bring him some assistant that you can call him, he's a type of coach that went with Pito and set it out with Al-Akhli there for some time. A coach that had coached a lot of PSL teams before. He knows the players in the PSL. He knows the challenge that he's going to face, and he knows how to hlanganisa a team. Yeah, but what they did there in Al-Akhli, they didn't go buy new players. They got there, they used the players that were there. For two whole seasons, they haven't bought any players. Yeah, but so what is needed is that we need a coach that could use the players that we have. And this nonsense of saying that our players they don't know what they're doing. Hey, Baba, our players are weak. There's no weak player there. Those players can play. Those players, if all those players are Sundowns players, they would be made to play better than what we're seeing today. Yeah, but you can't tell me that Umsimang is a bad player. You can't tell me that the back four, Nje, is a solid back four. There's no need for us to cry over that. Even the midfielder, instead of playing three in the midfield, we can play differently. But we do have players that can play. And they can compete with Sundowns. If Sundowns were that strong compared to us, they would have beaten us 4-5-0. Yaboland. The only problem is that the coach himself didn't believe in his ability, and he didn't have the experience to influence the players to say, you know what, this is the idea I have. I want you to take this and go out there and kill. We've got those two strikers, even if they have not been put in a system where they get the ball. Our strikers don't get the ball. The only striker who gets the ball is Dupree because he runs deep and comes on the side. The two strikers who are waiting in the box don't get the ball in the box. So you can't say we don't have players when we don't have a system that provides for them. So yes, I'm hopeful that Calvin Johnson will do the job because he knows what he's doing. But I'm not optimistic about the management of Kaizer Chiefs in terms of are they willing to support him in a manner that he would want, because he's got the experience to create his good technical team. Is he going to make his own choice there? Can he then add at least one player? But even if he doesn't add one player, we've got young players that are supposed to be playing. They're supposed to be ahead of Matt. Yabona, and Uzwane suppose can be played ahead of March so that we can get the ball going forward a little bit. You know, there is no connection between our. Yeah.
I just want to, sorry, before we go to the players, I just want to, my worry is not necessarily about Kevin Johnson and his vision and all of that. My worry is we've now seen 8 seasons. Kevin Johnson, even if he becomes coach, he's going to coach and then leave, right? I'm worried about the long-term vision, the long-term plan, the long-term everything at Kaizer Chiefs, because it seems as though they fly by the seat of their pants. They just go with whatever they're going with to make the fans happy, whoever happy for that moment. I'm worried about the long-term planning of the club.
We need a sporting director, a proper sporting director that's going to be we're going to go in Europe, choose someone who's been doing this, whether a degree or whatever in this thing, and has been shown to do this thing in other clubs, and then come here, not in hopes to be a coach one day, just to be a sporting director to sort out this thing. That's what Sundowns did. That's what they did. That's what we need now, because we can differentiate when there's decisions made by Bobby versus technical decisions made by technical people who are directors of sports, in terms of what type of players are we getting, where are we getting. Even if we're getting 1 or 2 players in a season, we don't really need to get 8 new players in a team. Yeah, but there's no way that we're saying there's no continuity if you're breaking up the team's core last season. You're not adding on, you're breaking the core and then saying, no, this time you're going to win. No, the core, they're still finding themselves. Everyone is a bit clueless what they're doing. Yeah, but until now we're going to have a coach that understands this better. He's going to set up the team a little bit better. But hey, Chiefs, they want us as fans to tell them that we demand a sporting director that knows what they're doing. They're waiting for that, and then Bobby will come back and say, you said that you want this, so we went to Spain and we looked for someone there. And then he's going to smile and laugh.
They're not going to go to Spain. They're going to sign a random one and then come back to us and say, yeah, but we did what you guys wanted. I guess that's what they're saying now with Zwane. That's what they're saying now with Ntseki.
Yes, that club is now working under us. They have things that they know that they won't change. Yeah, but they're like, okay, what you want? I know we want Hunt. Here we gave you Hunt. But when they chop him, they didn't discuss with us. They said, he's not doing this. The man went all the way to the final of the CAF. We've never had that in our history. But then we chopped him. Yeah, but today, even if Kevin Johnson does something great, does the management have the temperament to support him properly and also to communicate with us, guys, this man, we are hoping this is going to happen. We want him to stay longer, to communicate frequently. Have the coach give you the right to say, coach, say the things you want to say. Say, fans, please give me 10 games. I want to do this and change this, and I want to make improvements. And then from there, I will do this. So in that way, we then don't end up getting frustrated and angry of almost winning, because that's the problem right now. We're almost doing something. We are almost getting there. Yeah, but that's what's frustrating more than just getting 4-0. Because we're not getting 4-0, we're getting those 1-0, those 2 ones, and all those type of things are frustrating. Are frustrating. Okay. I've been away from this from this platform because I'm very, very, very frustrated, and I knew if I had a chance to speak, I'll start doing things that are out of my character.
No, thank you, Gocha, for joining me. I think we needed this. But again, all I want out of these things, and specifically out of my platform as a whole, there's so many things that happen in football that we don't ask questions about. There's so many decisions. There's so many people in the background that we don't know. And we tend in South Africa, in Mzansi, guys, follow if you have not followed. We tend in Mzansi to focus on an easy answer. Firing Ntseki is the easy answer. Letting go of Ntseki is not going to solve Kaizer Chiefs' problems. It didn't solve it when Ntseki left. Ntseki's leaving. It's not gonna. It didn't solve it with Zwane. Didn't solve it with Kevin Hunt. Didn't solve it with the Ends Middendorp. Didn't solve it with 8 years worth of coaches. So now we need to start asking the better questions. Why did you hire Ntseki? Why are we seeing subpar coaches, subpar players, and then we're shocked at the end of the day? Who's making decisions in the back? Why are they making decisions? Why Rishota in some of the places here? I'll ask the same question that I kept asking today. Who is the technical director at Kaizer Chiefs? Who's the sporting, the director of football? Who's this, that, and that? Because all we ever speak about is Bobby, Jessica, and Kaizer Jr. And if it's 3-4 people running a team like Kaizer Chiefs, those are the problems. That's where the problems start. So we need to start having these bigger conversations, because I refuse to get happy when another coach gets fired. Because in my head, I'm thinking, aye man. And it's getting even worse, because now you can even see in the future where you're going. When Ntseki was hired, I remember saying, nothing's going to change at Kaizer Chiefs when Ntseki was hired. It's an obvious trick. Look at Uzwane. When Zwane was hired, anybody with any sense will tell you that he's never been a head coach. So there's things that in that first year, Atazwane is going to come up against. I remember telling you guys about his PR. He can't speak to the media and speak to fans. There's certain things you say, there's certain things you don't say in order to keep the peace. He had to learn. He has to learn about this and learn about that, right? So it wasn't going to work out unless management with their 3-year contract had a 3-year plan for Uzwane and were willing to put their own reputations, their own everything on the line to back him. Right now, they can't even back a decision of their own. You cannot tell me, guys, you cannot tell me that us fans are influencing Kaizer Chiefs. That Tepo, Go Centurion in my two-bedroom apartment. I am influencing Kaizer Chiefs to make decisions. I'm not at Naturena. I didn't interview a coach. I didn't interview anything. I'm on the outside. And I feel like the problem at Kaizer Chiefs is that we have a culture of scapegoating. Today's the coach, tomorrow's the fans, the next day it's this, the next day it's that. Every day, guys, we scapegoat. But the question is, who are the ones who are scapegoating? And why are they scapegoating? When are we going to start asking questions of the people who are running the club? Not me, who has an opinion outside. Not me. I can't run a club. I don't know what it's like to run a club. I don't know what it's like inside Chiefs. I don't know what it's like when it's run a office. But there's people who do that every day. And if the easy answer again is going to be the fans are doing it, then we need to look at them and say, no, guys, you shouldn't want the best for the team and put it on the fans. Remember when we were doing well, guys. Remember when we were doing well. I don't remember one time I didn't know who Vermezovic was. I didn't know who Middendorp was. I didn't know some of the players. We didn't know Knowledge Musona was. We didn't know Mbesuma was. We didn't know all these guys. At no point were they asking for our opinions. But Chigi, now that things are going wrong, now it's my fault. That was the team, guys. And I think that's the part that gets to me. I know what a well-run team looks like. I know what a well-run team moves like. I know. But right now, you can tell me every single press conference that you want to tell me about how we want the best for the team and everything. But we can see the move. We can see them. You can see the difference between a Sundown signing and a Chiefs signing. It's clear to see. You can see the difference between a really good coach and a bad coach. We can see these things. We are not blind. And I think that's the other part. They treat us as though we can't see these things. Like we don't know what a good team is, what a bad team is, what a good move is, what a bad move is. So for me, that's where we need to start asking these questions and going, guys, something's wrong, and it's not Ntseki, it's not Zwane, It's not Baxter. It's not Ernst Middendorp. It's not Gavin Hunt. It's not Steve Kompela. It's not Billiard. It's not Dolly. It's not Njabulo Ngobo. It's not Msimango. It's not Kingston Carter. It's none of those things. It's a team that has lost its way. And the team has to get back on track, or else everything is going to break around it. How many players have we ruined already? The Kaizer Chiefs. How many players have we ruined? Kaizer Chiefs. How many coaches? Gavin Hunt is one of the greatest coaches of the PSL era, if not number one. He's done things in the PSL that we can't even dream about. But he came to Kaizer Chiefs and it went wrong. Abo Manyama were players of the season. Abo Banban were players of the season. Abo Ngobo were defenders of the season. All these things. So surely, if everybody that comes to Chiefs, whether it be a coach, whether it be players, breaks at the end of the day, surely then you have to look at the people who have been there for a very long time and who are still there. Upobi's been there since the 90s. Jessica's been there since what, the early 2000s. Kaizer Junior is now jumping in. So now you have to look at them and say, "All right, Mara guys, let's look at these decisions that you guys are making and really scrutinize why and how and when." But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you have not followed, please follow. The show is on Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you want to watch any of the shows back, they are available on Facebook and on YouTube in full. We've had plenty of very good discussions, and that is what it's here for. So, guys, please join me tomorrow, 12:30. We went long today. I might give other guys time tomorrow to come in and also vent, because we need this therapy session, man. But that's why I started with Pirates and Sundowns today in the afternoon, so that they could get it out so we could speak. But thank you guys so much for joining me. If you had not followed, please follow. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12:30.